Welcome to the Talkin Shop podcast. Myself today on the channel, Sandy Flat Broke. Oost!
I can't believe, literally yesterday. So when you voice noted me like 8, 9 o'clock. Right, I'm on my way. Like, what?
I was just because we had this plan, so I had a good week's worth of work, but I didn't have a load kind of back to my yard or a load coming back down.
Yeah.
So I says, I'm not going to go and run a fucking lorry up and then back down in the Monday. So I says, I'm better leaving it here. I says, well, I'll try and get a shot of a car and drive up. I was like, figuring of all options. I says, no, because Ailey's coming down. I says, right, you can now pick me up and leave from here. Yeah. I'll get work done here.
Yeah.
I'll do stuff here. I've got plenty to do here. I've got meetings. I've got this. And I could just fill out my day. My week was sorted. Monday was sorted. And then I think within 5 minutes, like, it just all went to shit. And then I was like, I am so stressed out now. And it was what was really annoying. So before we started, you can get a machine out and it's just literally up for where I am. And I'm like, I could have went home last night, loaded that this morning and done this all at the yard, plus everything would have been there. And then I was like, and then I got an email that says, Sadly, deadline for this YouTube integration with Amazon. Fuck!
Another thing to do.
And then I was like, I was on the phone to you. I said, I'm just trying to figure shit. I've got a fucking puncture. And then for some reason,
Sorry, I completely didn't pick up on that.
We heard that and we
in the middle of that, I was fixing the puncture. I decided I'm going to cut these, which I'm not being funny. I could have picked another better time. I thought, I'm going to cut these tyres. I think I was just that stressed out. No. And then I was like, everything. And then I even got to that. And then my mate says, oh, what time are you coming tonight? And I went, my best mate. And I'm like, jog my memory what we're doing again. And he's like, my birthday. Oh no. Shit. Channels. Oh mate. And then I was like, thinking, I might just try and juggle and switch this around. And then I phoned you back and says, I was all sorted. I went, no, that's the decision made. We'll get it all done. I'll figure this all out. Monday, here we go.
Yeah. So what's the plans then for this weekend? When you're done here then?
Well, actually, I think Jack and Jodie are coming to meet us.
Oh, nice. Oh, there you go.
Which would be nice. And then once Jack, and then we're just going to stay down for the night. And then we'll boost back up the road tomorrow. We said we'll leave no later than 10. That'll get us back to Glasgow. We'll load. I'll have a decision then which loads I'm going to do first, whether I do my loads from Glasgow down the road or go up and get that big machine and take it down and then try and do it all on Monday. So I'll just load Ailey's car onto the truck and drive up. And then I might try and load it on Sunday evening or something, then it's ready to go from Monday.
What? And then to jump in the car, how long did it take you to get from Glasgow? Was that like 5 hours?
It was like about, I think it was 4.5 hours, but that was because they had to go into Manchester because they shut the M6.
Oh, right. We've got a new little idea just to play your literally content.
So like in the background on mute, obviously.
Because then,
bloody hell.
There we go. Because then it's just a bit of...
And like we can refer to things as well, like we see in the video. We just thought we'd give it a go for today.
Yeah.
So, I like that. That's a really good
first
idea.
Time to...
Because normally put obviously the name across there.
Yeah.
And which is all good and well, but you know, it makes it a bit more interactive.
I watched this. And then actually anybody watching can actually get context.
There you go.
But I watched this. How sick is that? That is cool, isn't it?
It was very impressive. Like, we didn't know, like everyone was wondering what Blackwood's, I'll be honest, right? See when new trucks are getting built, I can't be arsed with people going, what do you know what it is? What do you feel like? People like, oh, have you heard anything? If I did, I couldn't care. I know it's really bad. I'm very that kind of way. It's a unicorn till it's here we see it. I've got 1,000,001 things in my day to care what next build. I appreciate them when they arrive, but I'm not like, have you got photos or have you...
The idea of it,
I'm not that fussed. I like watching like old restorations and that. So we all were wondering what is going to be the build on this, like the theme. And I sat for a minute and Alan, he was quite clever. He did play a good poker face. He was, I'll wear a watch. I don't do that, play poker with him. Cause I went and said, I sat and looked at it. When is the new one coming actually? And he says, oh, it should be here next month.
Yeah.
And I tried to get, and I says, okay, everyone says you're fuming. I had a thought and I looked at it and stacks were black when I went away and I went, Yellowstone. Nobody's done a Yellowstone. And he kind of went like that. And I went, it's going to be Yellowstone. I was convinced it was going to be Yellowstone. And I was like, oh, no, it's not. No. Any further off. Like. But no, I think it was really good because nobody's really done a Billy Connolly and the artwork on it is absolutely
brilliant. Yeah.
Stunning. And I think as well, it's all, like I said in the video, all iconic scenes of his career, like, you know, moments on stage and that, so, and interviews. So it was done very well, like.
Yeah, because the trucks themselves, they're in built in Holland. Is it Holland they're built in?
Yeah, they all are. I mean, there's a few like Van Wilcooks and whatnot, they'll build you a T cab, and the company that built my XL, they build T cabs and whatnot.
Right.
There's boys in the UK that will build you the old shape T cab.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's anyone in the UK that's built the new shape T cab. But essentially, I'm not going to say it's easy, because I'm like, obviously it's not, but it's not as complicated as people think, because it is. Essentially, with the longer chassis, you just lift the cab off, move it back, it's bolted solid, and then you have all the bonnets and the wings and that going there. But you do have like your steering and like your loom, because your loom usually runs up the front of the cab, so you have to extend that.
Right.
But it's not. To be fair, I'd actually like to know how to build a T cab. I'd actually like to do it, because it does seem. Another one of these things where you say, when you think of a business idea and you realise there's actually quite a lot of money costs in it. Yeah. The cost in them is astronomical. It's like 120,000 to get one built or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got to buy the truck, which is already like nearly anywhere between 150 and 200 grand. And then you've got to give them a company 100 grand just to move it back.
Two trucks worth.
And then people like this to be like, would you love a T cab? Nope.
Yeah.
And they're very surprised. I'm like, no, I like looking at them. I wouldn't want one.
It looks great, but is that truck actually, when's that truck actually going to earn money? That with how much it's cost?
There's that. I mean, like, there's two sides I look at a truck like that. It's obviously the advertisement of it. I mean, that is big marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it like that, it draws attention in a way. I mean, when I think of Stuart Nichols, when people went and said about Stuart Nichols, I'm like, the money in that. If you look at the long-term revenue of it, it's like, it'll be worth a lot more. Like my XL will be, that was one of the reasons why I bought it.
Yeah.
I got a fair deal on it, and I says that's going to lose less money than a normal next gen. And it's the same with these T cabs. I don't get it. Like, boys will be like, 130 grand for an old T cab, which is battered to hell back. It's hanging. Then you spend another 100 grand on it. There's just this thing about them. So you will lose less money. I suppose in the average, I suppose the way you price it over, it's like a very expensive membership, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, once you've got it, and then you go for your next one, it's fine. Yeah. It's just the initial saying, do you want to spend nearly £300,000 on a truck?
That's a lot of money.
Me, personally, no.
No.
no, that's it.
I don't know how mentally rich I would have to be to start thinking that kind of like...
it's a toy, isn't it? Really?
It's a toy. That's it. You've got to, I'd say in situations like that, you've got to kind of like weigh it up. I mean, like... They'll have that. Like, if you had stuff like that, and it's, I can't believe they bought that. But he might not want a big fancy 80 grand. Nobody will question a guy that's got like 100 grand Range Rover.
No.
Right? Nobody questions that. And that depreciates like hell.
Yeah.
And then they'll no question other things. But because it's like, but it's maybe a working truck and you can buy a working truck for this price. I know, but it depends what your interests are. So you can weigh your interest, your value, your depreciation. Like, so many factors into what it's worth to you. And at the same time, it's no one's effing business what you do with your money.
Yeah, do what you like. And it looks cool. It looks very cool.
Oh, don't you? It's like a sale. As if people say, why'd you buy it? I had many reasons why I bought my XL. Like, justifiable, like, financial reasons. I thought it worked. And I believe that says the depreciation, the interest and all that. But also down the bottom line is because I fucking wanted it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lovely truck. It's really nice.
It's mint. Yeah.
It's really good. But for me, it's the interior. It's the sort of sitting area that you've got in the back.
It was. I remember when they got made, and I fell in love with them. Mick Moody had them, and I was like, "That's what I want." And everybody else, I'd like a T cab. I'd like a long line. Nope, Scania XL. I remember Nickel asked me what I'd want. I said, "I want a Scania XL," and he kind of talked when I still worked there about maybe getting one. And then there was like kind of talks of that, but I was going out on my own, but always fantasized about getting one. And I have that belief because there's weird things that have happened in my life quite a lot. I really, really thought about like, something that you visualize it and then like, 10 years down the line, it comes like full circle round. Yeah. And it's like, I keep thinking that with the lottery, but it's not happened.
No.
Yeah, that's it. We can keep thinking.
Keep visualizing it. Come on.
Yeah.
So it was, and I think when I really like Ben SG, I think it was like 3 years ago at Peterborough, I went to see him, and he knew I wanted it, and I says, if you ever go to sell it, let me know. We kept in touch, but there was always that kind of thing, as this guy always, I'm a really small guy that's probably like, is mates, like really close mates who would want to buy it, and I'd understand that. Like I'm probably like way down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably loads of guys, well, can you sell that first? Yeah, but he's maybe he wants to buy it here or something like that. And I'd understand that.
Yeah.
And we always kind of talked like about it. And then I was actually starting to look at new trucks. I says, no, I think I really do need to start looking at a new truck. But I was going to be more to the end of this year, not as soon as it was. But I was like, I said, but I'm putting plans in place, and I knew what I wanted. And I wanted a next gen R-Cab V8, right? But they're quite hard to find that spec. So I was looking at, and there's a few things, but I noticed all the depreciation, next gen, the arse fell out of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, I mean, these things are using like 10, sorry, it used to be like 10 grand a year depreciation. Now it's 20 grand a year.
Wow. Yeah.
It was all this was happening. And then I was still looking and went, right, maybe this, maybe that. And yep. And then it was just by fate. I was on my phone in the truck. And then I was like, look at this. And then Ben messaged me, so you buying this truck? I said, it'll be well out the market. The budget's on my business plan. Oh, what are we talking? And then he just sent me something through and I went, oh, this changes everything.
Yeah.
So we started, but it was so hard to get across the line. That took 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, see, with a normal lorry, it would have just been like, well, buy this, insurance, no bother, finance like everything, no bother.
Yeah.
I had to change my insurance company.
Did you?
I changed it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was spiteful about it as well because my insurance company actually insured the truck already, but they wouldn't insure it for me because it was left-hand drive. I said, but you insure it already.
Yeah.
But they've got 30 trucks.
Right,
That's a bit out of order. It doesn't matter. It's still on the road. And
surely you shouldn't be able to do that if you're an insurance company. You shouldn't be able to.
I thought that was it says, oh, it's kind of like a favour to them because they insure so much. I said, no, that's...
Yeah, you can't do that, yeah.
So Mandy, my insurance broker at Towergate, big shout out, she's been amazing. And she was like, leave with me, Sandy. And it was just weird how everything was coming together. So like, I didn't think we were going to get it. So look, we can maybe see about cancelling your policy and taking a new one out, but it's probably going to be like just a stupid business decision. I said, look at it anyway, because I hate always wondering. And I think it was 2 weeks later, I literally just passed the lorry. Couldn't believe it. Oh, there's the lorry I want to have. And Mandy phoned me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I went, oh, this is just how life really wants to boot you in the stones, is it? Right?
Yeah.
Tell me. Jesus, all happy on the phone. You got good news, Sandy. I've got great news for you. Your new insurance policy is cheaper and you get a fleet policy. So I get the 2 trucks and the van and anyone over the age of 25. So I got a better deal in the end. So I was like,
how does that work?
How's that worked out?
Yeah.
But even then, that was still hard. We had to prove it was legitimately made. It wasn't like we had to like send over where the interior came from, where the cab came from, everything. It wasn't just can you insure this truck. It was like, no, they wanted to know it was a legit bit of kit. And there was that. And then the finance company, when we went with the brokers, at first it was like I went to go to cheaper. Like I wanted to try and get cheaper. I wanted to just see where else we go. I was always with Haydock. But it was like Brian, DM Finance, my broker, dear friend, he goes above and beyond. Says, well, just try and see what else there is out there. You've always got to expand your options. And this, we're interested. And they listen to the value and the depreciation and why this is like, trust business is better to buy. And they went through, it's going to make me jump through hoops for about 3 weeks. And then said no at 3 o'clock on a Friday. Like just really crappy business. And I was
livid.
Gutted.
Yeah.
Phone DM Finance. Brian says, I've sent the application already through to DM Finance this morning anyway. So by Monday we'll know. Monday, Brian phoned me and says, hey Doc, I've said yes. And I remember I just welled up in tears of this is it, we've done it. We've got this over the line. But it was as well, being with Haydock, everything's been through them, never missed, everything's been great. And then they even gave us a good deal as well because he went and says, well, everything you've done so far, you've been a great customer. But I says, are you not going to be questioning like the value of everything in this? No, you and Brian, and that was the thing, because Brian's so well known in the industry and his knowledge of it, they just took his word right away, which, you got to give them, credit for that. It just shows you the difference between one of going, yeah, we don't believe you're experts. Oh, sorry, we're experts in this field. And no. And then them like, instantly like that.
Yeah.
So, yes, up Haydock.
There we go. That's it. Made it all happen.
Yeah. Why is the new gen like losing so much? Because that's bonkers.
It is.
So I put it down to when obviously COVID hit.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get trucks. and everyone was spending an absolute fortune. Like, I mean, we were getting like lorries with 500,000 quicks on them.
Yeah.
4 years old, and they're still selling them. They're selling them for more the price they paid for them brand new. It was mental.
Yeah.
It was just, but people couldn't get trucks. But I says, this is actually getting stupidly out of control. And I said, this is all going to come crashing back down, and people will be negative equity. Oh, no. And there was people says, nah, I don't think it'll ever come back down.
It will.
If there's anything we definitely know ahead, whatever goes up comes back down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of recessions to tell us this. And it says because you're a 2-year waiting list minimum for a new truck. And then when it came round, like when all new trucks, now you can get a new truck within 3-4 months. Well, that was the old trucks, and they just plummeted.
Yeah.
So if you bought a truck in that time when there were
Or
that
trucks.
price,
Yeah, could you imagine? Well, I remember because I was so busy, like work was just like, and I thought, I'm going to put more trucks on the road. And I got, oh, this is going to be my next step. And the reason I didn't, because the sister trucks to my truck, I got offered them, like other owner drivers bought them, but then it wasn't for them. Tidy, mint, clean. But now they were 2 years older, had 280,000 more quicks on them, and they still wanted the same money for them when I bought mine. So I'm like,
doesn't matter.
So these haven't depreciated in any value in 2 years and nearly 300,000 miles. Well, that's the market. I went, no.
Yeah.
This is because if I buy that and then the work goes quiet, I'm not on the right side of the finance to say, right, at least you say, sorry boys, go get jobs somewhere else, pays off. This is how it is. I'm really sorry. Sell the lorries, pay off the finance. But if you're in negative equity, you try to sell off that lorry, you're going to have that shortfall, and then you're still going to be paying these. So then you're stuck with it. And that gas is, I don't need that.
There's no going back then, is there?
And there's loads of boys that done that, and and they didn't do that they did that with trucks, they did it with machines. I mean, you went to Euro auction, I think at one point there, and I phoned Chris. I says, Chris, have you not had an auction for a while? That's how we had an auction just 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, you can't move in here. He says, aye, all the boys that went, like, you know, guys had like maybe 1 or 2 machines, self-operators or that, all works really busy. And then they went, we went to 10 machines, 15 machines, and I got a 6-wheeler. And this is them like, I understand take the moment it is, but like they all rushed into it so quick, and they stuck it all in the chucky, and then they can't sell it, and now everything's selling for nothing. Like,
so have you got anything lined up for the old truck? Are you still going to use the?
Still going to use it. I've got to keep my girl. I was hoping to get a bit more done to it now, but as soon as that new truck came, it's been mental. The work we've been getting offered has been great. The jobs we've been getting to go on to have been fantastic.
Good.
And then by the time I get back, I'm that kind of tapped out, and then they're trying to get onto that. And then I've got office work, I've got content, and then I've got my family, we girls, my mates and that. So I keep saying, okay, it'll be quiet soon.
Quiet. When's that?
It's not getting quiet. So I think she's actually fine. I just want to get her tidied up. I just want to give her a wee quick respray and a freshen up. Because she is. I love that bloody truck. Me and that truck, because people say you're going to sell it. I says, there's enough blood, sweat and tears, a lot of tears. That truck.
To
be related
to let it go.
Yeah, it's what started the business, you know. That's what you sort of started with, isn't it?
I lived in it for 3 months at one point because of like I had nothing. I basically like something personal happened in my life, and my life completely changed. It was like this was meant to be the start of like everything for me, everything I'd spent years working up to. Yeah. And then in months it all went to hell, and I just had this choice. It was like, you know, like just mothball and get out.
Yeah.
And I says, no, I've spent so many years sacrificing, saving for this moment. And I'm not letting it go because of what's been done to me.
Yeah.
So I just says by any means, and I lived in the truck. I just did whatever it took to get back on the line. And I think that's the thing. I mean, I like to show as real as you can social media. But if somebody could actually have a camera on you all the time without you knowing, they would see some really harsh moments.
Yeah.
I know obviously there's a limit of your personal life that you don't want, you know, everyone to see. I mean, because everyone's got pressure behind the scenes. As much as you see on the screen and much as you can show, there'll be things that people have pressure behind, like personal life stuff and all that. And it does take effect. Like, see, when you've got a good, clear head, I've seen me take on the biggest challenge. Even like last week, I had a really like, oh God, this is stressful. But because I have a good, you know, home life and that now, and everything's great, and great support, it didn't bother me. Like, you know, and my mum came in and she says, you're not worried?
No.
I says, I'll figure this out. I says, I know I can. But then I seen myself last year in such a bad way with personal stuff. I was under so much stress that I couldn't control. if you phone and asked me to move a mini digger down the road, I'd freak out. I was like, I can't do this, man. I was like, I was in full survival mode. And that's it. People don't see that kind of all the stress it can take on you. Like, you know, I've seen myself a couple of times go through like really heavy stress and I've lost 2 stone. I don't say, but people don't see behind the scene. It's just fags and Red Bull. I don't smoke Red Bull when I'm really stressed. It's like, it's this weird.
You've got to do what helps your mind.
Vice that I've got. Like, see when I'm mentally stressed, for some reason I was just buying packet of fags and I would just sit there and chain smoke, trying to think. Yeah. And then drinking Red Bull. That would be the diet. No, it's totally healthy, but it's the only advice you need, because it'd be like, I need to get through the next hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like that? Are you like that naturally though? Are you quite resilient to stuff like that? Or are you actually quite, because I am a bit of a worrier. I'm terrible for it.
No, I'm quite resilient. I think it's more, if I've got control, like, I've noticed that I live in a really weird world in my own head, and I think I'm quite difficult, I feel, to live with, because, like, how can I say it? Like, when it comes to, like, doing things in the business and doing that, because it's the world I've always been in, I'll make it work all day, and I just keep powering through. I got my mum to, I says, I need to make an office at the house, I need a new office after I did the last one. And I says, give me a nice carpet. And my mum told me the carpet was 400 quid, and it was just this square. I couldn't sleep for days. Yeah. Freaking out about this bloody carpet. It cost me 400 quid. I'm like,
it's carpet.
Yeah. But then, because then I started thinking, like, what happens when I go to build the house? How much is all this carpet going to cost? Like, I started panicking.
Yeah. It all adds up. And
like that kind of like, and then people's like,
well, you probably exhaustion as well. Like, if you overwork yourself, I always find towards the end of the week, if I've done too much with work, I'll get towards like the end of the week and I'm not functioning properly.
You overthink things.
Yeah, I overthink things. Yeah. I'm not functioning. I'm not able to make the right decisions, say the right things. You know, do you find that sort of plays in?
No, I'm all right. Like, I could just keep going. Like,
just keep having Red Bulls.
I don't reckon that. I'll keep pushing, and what I do is I think it's just the only way I can work now is I'll go for not breakdown, like, but like I'll literally crack. Yeah, I only need to crack for a day. Yeah, like, just ask me, I'm done, and then just give me that, and I'll be like, I can't wean off it. I need to know it's coming. Just go through it, crack, sit down for like a day, and then I'm fine again. Yeah, the only time I can't deal with like decisions and when there's like something else playing on my mind, and it can be something that's totally out of my control, whether it's like something in your personal life and there's nothing you can do about it. It's something it's affecting. Yeah. You know, it's weaning on you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like someone's wrong with a family member or like, you know, all that kind of stuff. That'll stay. And that's like anyone, you know, it's just a natural thing. There's some people who can switch off from it, but it's like, I can get very obsessive about something. Like, see, when it comes to fixing something, like, I will go at it and go at it and go at it, like go and to the point, like Sandy, just walk away from it for a bit. Yeah, but like, I can see myself, like, especially my old truck, getting mentally obsessed sometimes. I remember, like, what was it? What was it? Broken the bloody thing. My last truck. It was that. I was somebody was working on it and somebody just made a mistake and they done some of the whole ECU and the chassis and all that. And I was taking it too mentally personally because it was like, I know it sounds really weird, but it was like, if I can't fix it, why can't I wouldn't be able to fix myself? I started getting too mentally involved in it and too upset. And I think it's like that constantly hitting that wall. And it's like, I am throwing everything at this and I'm not winning. And then I started getting really mentally obsessive about it. Instead of just going like, okay, it is what it is. Like, but if my head's not in the right place at the time, I'd start putting every bit of pressure on fixing this item because it's like a win to me. If I don't win this, like, I'm not gonna have any happy endorphins to go. I won't sleep. I'll be obsessive. I'll just totally dissolve myself over it.
Where does all these sort of mechanical knowledge come from? Is it all self-taught or
self-taught?
Yeah,
I mean, I've worked beside people as well, but most of it has been self-taught. Like, I was never. People thought I did an apprenticeship and all that. I says, nah.
Yeah, because you do, like, we watch and you do turn your hands to like a lot of stuff and like, where have you learned all this? Yeah. No.
Yeah. I suppose you have to though, don't you?
I mean, especially up my way, it's quite difficult because there's nothing more than I would like to be able to. I do like fixing stuff when I've got time as well. I actually kind of, when I get stuck in and it feels good and get time to do it. But my way is quite difficult. Because when things sometimes break in your phone, there's just such a lack of fitters now. Like, I mean, we don't have guys like Jack and all that. I mean, we do have great skilled people up in our area, but they're that busy. And I think it was when I literally, thank God, like I drove home from the truck show, parked the lorry up, and then I went in the morning, the thing went build air, the compressor just went like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, so I phoned everyone, and the earliest I could get someone, so this was on the Monday, was the Tuesday the following week.
Oh, it's a whole week. Wow.
Nothing. So
and that's your business. That's what earns
my business.
the
Yeah.
money.
And so I just thought, I
think I remember this actually. What did you do?
I did the compressor myself. I managed to change that, but it did take me a few attempts because I kept buggering things up and I couldn't get the seal, but just kept going at it and kept going at it. And eventually got it. Now that I've done it, I would know how to do it. And then the air dryer went the week after that.
Yeah.
That's one thing after another.
But that was the one I found out you could reseal it. I'm not going to tell where I got the seals from because I'm not allowed to.
That's it.
But I remember I was reading, I said, I'm not spending £1,300.
Yeah, on a new air dryer.
That's ridiculous.
And I just took it out and I just found out, and I was so proud of doing that. I was so happy because it cost me nothing to fix it. And then it was the amount of boys from Scania or mechanics and fitters that would meet afterwards saying, we didn't know that. We just got told, once it starts hissing air, that's it. Full replacement. We didn't know you could do that. And I says, well, I think, and it's basically Scania, I know the crack at Scania don't really want you bugging around because it's essentially a braking system, but it's not even it's a bit of rubber. It's a rubber cup. It's not like, oh, it's a pressurized, it was 3 screws in this, you know what I mean?
Fix that and
yeah, I mean, and that's just the thing nowadays. People don't get told to fix things or see what they can do. It's
just change it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, I was quite chuffed with that one. That was like, you know, put a smile on my face that day.
Yeah.
And there's things I like to do like yesterday when I had that puncture. I was like, so I was right. 4 new tyres. How much? So for Mitchell and remixes, it was going to cost me yesterday for 4 of them £1,500 plus the VAT. So I was like, £1,500. But then I did look at them and I went, just give them a cut.
Yeah.
Get the blades out, spend an hour and a half, right? And I can't believe the amount of people says, oh, don't bother cutting. Who gives a bother cutting tyres? I says, I did that, and that's me got about 2 to 3 months more out of my tyres.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I haven't had to spend, because otherwise I'd have to spend that. The money's out, that's less money for Monday. And I don't mind doing it.
No.
Yeah, it's cash flow as well. You've got to, you're not expecting that to happen at the time, are you? Haven't accounted for that. Yeah.
Exactly. Cash flow's the bane of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
It's a seeing the fuel go out every week, and then you're asking people, can you pay your bill yet? Yeah. We'll do a cash run.
Yeah.
This Friday. Oh, we forgot to put. Oh, I get.
Yeah. Oh, 90 days. Oh, no, it's 90 days from the date of invoice. Oh, we thought it was 90 days from next month. Yeah.
All right, so I've got one. We're going into too much information and figures here, but I'll tell you off camera because it's a lot of bloody money. And they queried it on 90 days. Don't start it.
Oh, no, you don't do that. That's bang out of order.
90 days,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we sorted all that out, like defunct everything they said, and a few other things. So then, all right. And then it was like, oh no, they won't pay it. They're just paying in stages. So they're just doing dribs and drabs because they know if it turns to a debt collector, then they'll stop paying. Because then they'll just buy it, and it's just,
bang out of order.
It's, and then that's just, I'd like to say that's the only one. There's other ones as well. There's another company that, it's quite a difficult situation, but I am that very close to outing them now because I'm a wee bit more hurt by it.
Yeah.
For the work I did for them.
Yeah.
And the extra I did for them. And then for it to be 400 days.
But yeah, how did you even get into all this? Like, how did you even get into haulage?
My dad had lorries, so I was always around them. I've always, enjoyed lorries. I've never been obsessed with them when I was a kid. It was just kind of happened. Like, and there was other things I kind of had a chance to go and do. I was kind of interested in doing, like, with like my life and my career. But there was always that bit about lorries. And then, I says, oh, no, I'm just going to go do that. And I just fell into it. I worked, did mechanical stuff. I nearly did go, I know it sounds weird, but I actually was going to go to the Navy till I was 21 because you couldn't set your test till you were 21. So I actually kind of thought, because my uncle was in the Navy, and he showed me that I seen the life he had, and I says, I'm going to do 4 years in the Navy, and then when I come out I can get my HGV. It was just something to go do.
It's what my little brother's just come to do, actually.
It was a brilliant life. And then but then as that, they changed it to 18. So I was like, all right, so just save my money, got my class 2, had an 8-wheel tipper, Foden, Eaton twin splitter. And see anyone that sits there and goes, Eaton twin splitter, best gearbox ever. Shut up.
That's all the work.
No, that's the best gearbox ever, in my opinion. But Eaton twin splitter, they're cool, but it's that whole cool thing. I could drive. It's just like a flex. I could drive an Eaton twin splitter.
That's all it is.
It's the best gearbox. No, it's not. It's not. Because if it was, they'd still make them.
Pretty much.
End of. Right?
That's it. Exactly. They change things for a reason.
No, just my opinion. And then I had a Scania 8-wheeler after that. And then when I got my Arctic license, just worked away. I was still driving for my dad, and when my dad packed in the lorries, I moved to Glasgow. But I was quite tired of the lorries at that point, because it was like I'd just been on them a whole lot, and then because I worked for my dad, I was like fixing them. I was just, and I never had because I worked for my dad, I never kind of had one kind of little life. I never kind of got to go do anything. Not do anything. I don't mean like that, like, oh, it's me. But I mean like when everyone else was like away to college, like for their apprenticeships or uni and going out partying and all that, I was working all the time. So I moved to Glasgow. It was kind of like a chance. Like I thought, I wanted away from the lorries. No, I wanted to do something different. So I went to go work for. I was working for my pal Snedden's, like Snedden's are Snedden's my bloody family. Just do a bit of casual driving for them, but then eventually I went to go work for a company called Bulk Weld. So that was fitting hooks, skips, and welding and bodies, and I loved that. I love just kind of fabricating and making brackets to fit hydraulic systems to trucks. I really loved doing that.
It's a good skill to have actually as well, especially with these days with doing what you do.
And it was, I loved the job. But the travel was hard going because I was like doing like 2.5 hours every day, like round trip. And then I got off, so I did that for about a year, learned great skills and great friends. I kind of, and it was just different to be kind of off the road. But I think there was a bit of me that was still kind of missing the wagons, like full-time wagon driving. So then I started doing casual driving for Stuart Nicol at the weekends for just extra money.
Right. Their trucks are nice, aren't they?
That was nice kind of all shiny lights. Like a moth to the flame I was. So I was doing that, and I was getting up really well with Stuart, but then he made me a job opportunity. We offered me a job, and I really do appreciate Stuart saying this to me, because like kind of like growing up, everyone always doubted me. In a way of like, if I said I want to do this, very good. Like I was constant. In fact, even when I was at Bulk Weld, there was one of the guys went and said to me, because I says, I want to do this in my life, I want to do that. And he turned around, he was being serious. I thought he was joking at first, but he was actually being serious. Says, Danny, I'm just going to let you know, just as like, looking out for you, that won't ever happen for you. I can't see you ever basically being a success. This is basically you. And I was like,
thanks.
Wow.
I said, see, when I'm worth 1 million, I'm going to get it on the way, and I'm going to post it here where you still sit in that F&T room up there, because this is where you will never go further than this. I was like, I just was like, cheers, good motivation. Still got that in me. So, but that's what it kind of was. But I remember I went and Stuart sat me down and he was offering me a job. And then before he actually offered me the job, he says, look, so I'm going to make something very clear. This is going to be your last ever job.
Right.
And I went, what do you mean? He says, I don't want you leaving here to go work for anywhere else. I fully believe you're going to get your own truck and you're going to work for yourself. I can see it in you. So make it happen. I said, but make sure it's your last job. Do what you have to get here, and I'm going to help you get there. And I honestly got, before even Stuart offered me the job, I was like, I'm going to work for this man, because it meant so much to me, because it was kind of like, the first time somebody really was like, no. And I was only 21, 22. And about 21, 22. And I worked there, had a great time doing everything, and then on the road, had great trucks, great experience. It was great, just good fun. And then I was just itching for that next bit. And then just did my CPC, just did everything behind the scenes, and then I was 26 when I went on the road. 26, 27.
Yeah.
I think it was when my truck went on the road.
Was there a point that you sort of made you go, right, this is the right time now to do it?
Yep, I was very angry. I'll tell you what it's right. So I had a great time at SNT, and this isn't a thing, like, it was just, as it is when a company gets bigger, more and more people come into the office and stuff like that. And there was like people in the office. There's like great people in the office, but there's also arseholes. Yeah. Sorry to say, but that is. No, so I was in the office.
They're everywhere.
Well, it's just natural. It was. Because I was always somebody who would just do anything. Yeah. I'll do it. I was just getting shafted all the time. And I mean, like, you're not even asking the other people or telling the other people to do their job. I'm just literally like, oh, it's just easier to phone Sandy. And I was getting pretty worn out. And it was before a truck show. It was before Ingliston Truck Show, which is the one in Scotland. And I got royally shafted. It was maybe my weekend off as well. And I only just made the truck show. It was late. And I was and there was other guys there that don't even do half the things I was doing. And they're there before me having a great time. And I'm like, I might have one of the show motors. Like, I'm like, and I'm like, I couldn't even get into the show on the Friday night. I'm parked outside again. And I know that here, there's loads of people like that. It's even lucky you get to go to a show, but you kind of think of the effort I put in. Yeah. And this guy who's in the office gave me the hardest run to do because he knew he'll get that done just so we get to the show. And I wasn't actually going to go. I said, I'm not going to the show. I'm not going. But my pal Craig says, no, come on, Sandy, you've worked this hard and you've done so much for your truck. Just go and just forget about it. So I went. And there was just a couple of things that happened though, and I was just like, and I just said to Craig, who was beside me, and I says, I'm done. I says, and when I said like I was done with SNT, it wasn't like, oh, I'm done with Stuart. I don't mean like in a bad way, because I started great times. Yeah. And everything like that. I think I was just done with driving for somebody else. I says, I'm done. And I said, I am not coming back here with anyone else. I'm coming back here in my own truck next year. And I was really chuffed because I said that kind of in a moment of anger, I don't know, like queer, but anger. But they really thought about it. It was when I had my own truck, he went and says, Sandy, by your word, you went and did it. He says, you went and said there, he says, I'll come back in my own truck, you did it. He said, I'm so proud of you. And we said that.
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't even think, but it was just like throwing everything at it and then just rolling into it. And not because only a few people knew. People just thought I'd left. When I left Nichols, I just handed him a notice in. Yeah. And left. Didn't tell anyone. People thought I was going, like, I'm on the way going to work, and see just rolling into the show with my own little truck because I went from a big fancy 730 stacks. Airbrushed everything to a wee humble 450. And painted ourselves and all that. And we still got
but it's that thing, it's your truck.
It's your truck.
It's my truck, and we still got highly commended and everything. The judges were around and all that, and I was just proud as hell. And I was like, I mean, the fact is, people were like, it was so close. The light bar wasn't even wired in. I got a light bar for like next to nothing, and I was like, had no, like, there was no money left in the couches or anything. And got this light bar, got a light bar.
Just put it on.
Oh, bolted on before the way, so just bolted, drilled it, bolted it. Wasn't wired. Had people say, when are you going to get wired? Well, we get some money. I think it was unwired for about 3 months.
No one needs to know.
My flash lights and that would just stay dim. And it was like, there's loads of things like that where like, we'll just do it, but you are cutting, because it was like, even getting the new truck. Yeah. And people are like, oh, when are you going to paint it?
Oh, yeah, just there you go.
I says, it's going straight to work. I don't know. No. Hopefully eventually, but no, it's luckily it's even here.
I think people don't realise the cost of doing something like that. Painting a truck is not just a couple of thousand, is it? It's big money.
It is. It's very big money, and there's this is a thing. I mean, I love social media, but honest to God, like some people on it, like they comment on it, you just kind of like, I don't know what the words to put in, but I think I was reading one, like somebody was like kind of slagging me because they were like, he just bought it and put his sticker on it, he didn't build it himself. I says, well, I did my last truck myself. I mean, that we did ourselves.
As you said, there she is.
That's the evidence.
And I says, we're getting, I says, we've literally just got this, give us 5 minutes. I said, we will do our own thing to it. And then, but then like, there was just, I don't get involved, but there's just arguments, and people are backing up and says, well, where's your truck? Like, where's your, like, if you could do better, you will do better that. But then it's like, but you should know, most important thing about it is presentation. Like they believe in their head that the bet is, I bet it should look the part, it should all be done before it goes down the road. And you're just like, look, I know you play Euro Truck Simulator, and you probably press F12 and the load's tied down, and then you press forward and back for 10 minutes and the load's tipped, and you got like 10 grand for the rate, which is not the real world, and you live in a total fantasy world, but you think you're the legit deal and you know better. It's like when people say to me, why don't you build a shed? And why do you build a pit? Many reasons. I said, one, financial cost. Do you know how much it costs? It's not just a case of like whip it up. You're going to be 100k.
Yeah.
Concrete pad, electrics, 3-phase, never mind planning and all that. And then even if you had all that, are you sure where are you going to build it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can build it there, but I don't know where I want to build it there.
Yeah.
Do I want to build it to the left or right, the top bases? Because you can build it in one place and then down the line you're like, we put that in the wrong place.
Yeah.
That's it. These things take time, you know. Totally agree.
Yeah, this is like one day when it is. It's but I love social media, but I really think some people are commenting like this is like I was thinking about it the other day. It was not the other day, like last month or no, a couple of months ago now. So see how we did that the V8 Volvo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw that. We saw that.
Yeah, this is sore subject.
Very good that, quite sure. So, and there was quite a mix of comments on social media, and it was the ones literally which were really harsh, which I don't like support at all. Like, I get it effing up, Tim, and you're like, guys, no, like that doesn't make me look good commenting like that. And then the other ones are like, be original. You stole his idea and all this. Yeah. And you're like, right, first of all, it's not a stolen idea. That idea's been around for years.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the way to look at it. Competition is a great thing.
Yeah.
Because Jim and Drew had that idea. They've been wanting to do that for years. They said, I've been planning to do it for the last 5 years, but they've not got around to it.
No.
But as soon as they found out someone else was going to do it before them, we're not getting beaten, so it becomes competition. So it would have never, and at the same time,
makes it more interesting.
well, no offense, but Tim's was still sitting there just a photo every now and again. We're going to build it.
Yeah.
But you've moved the pallet closer to it. That was not a bad way. That was like, but he wasn't, because he had no competition either. There was nothing happening. So his would still be doing nothing.
Yeah.
So it forced our hand.
Yeah.
So like, we're not getting beaten. We're going to be the first.
And Tim's to get it done.
Yeah. So then it got done.
Yeah.
And then
Murdoch, wasn't it?
Murdoch, it's Murdoch. Yeah. Skilled, great guys as well. Honestly, fantastic. And like I said, I've known them even before I did social media, and they've always been the same gentlemen, right? Yeah. Really, awesome guys, and Adam and all them, and like the skill to just fire that in there, like in that time. And I mean, like literally, if you took it out of the hours, it was like a weekend. If you took the hours like spread out, it was literally like when the engine went into the chassis wheels, like didn't fit. And I went, cut a wee bit out, then they just sort of get us and weld it back in.
We'll make it fit. Yeah. That's old school fabrication, really, isn't it?
Old school, skill that. And that's the thing, so that was it, it got done. And then it's good because now it's made Tim go, well, in my opinion, now I need to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have to get this done now. I can't just, because I keep talking we're going to do it, but now I need to do it. But then not only that, he's now making his different, even more different.
I quite like
so it's now even more interesting.
Yeah.
It says, well, there you go. See if there was no competition, no kind of, we're going to be, and that's how the world is made. It's not like if there was only one competitor, progress in civilization would have be well behind.
Yeah.
It all pushes I'm going to try and do better than you and that. And then, and then what it brings me back to is like all these people in the comments, and I was like, you, and I just thought this is you spoiled.
Yeah.
Civilization. It says user, and that's what I thought. And people can hate me for this. It says, but how, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like entitled or ignorant. And it says, I remember being young, and this is how it was. You would get a Truck and Driver or whatever magazine you had that, and you would go through, and then you'd be lucky if you seen something with bloody airbrushing on it or something fancy. You'd be like, but you look at the truck photos and that'd be it. And then you get taken to like one truck show a year, and this is like, I hate saying the word back then because I think I'm old. I'm not. I'm only 31. Right? But back then, And it'd be like, there'd be a few, and I can remember seeing Ali McDonald's, that was the first truck I seen with a custom interior, 4x2 side pipes, black.
Nice.
Oh, tanned interior, and just being in awe of it.
Yeah.
Robbie Burns' 620, which was done in a Dutch spec with amber lights. Like seeing that, and that was all we kind of had. There wasn't like, and then when Stuart Nicol made his T-cab, like his first one, that was like,
yeah,
nice.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the big stuff.
But now things are they're just constantly coming out now. There's just builds and builds and builds. And you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, you've got all this content. You have got so much you can indulge in, which we would have killed for when we were younger. But now you're getting people telling you what you can and can't do and what you should do and how it should be done. And I'm like,
do your own thing, you know?
Not even that, just like, sit down, shut up and be grateful because it's free. You get all this for free. You don't have to watch it. This is all free. And then you're sitting there going, oh, you're not allowed to do that. How? Because that's his. No, it's not. It's anyone's. We can do what we want. Be happy that you get to watch and have. This would have been amazing when we were younger. We didn't have this. We just had magazines and one truck show a year. And then going away with our dads and that. And this is it. So
people get brave behind the keyboard.
There's the thing of the whole opinions are like arseholes, but on social media, it's like that in tenfold. It's like 10 times more.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I the comments, I'm very happy with my channel in the sense of like the support I've got from people. Like, I mean, like the amazing comments, even you get the odd fanny, but I'm like,
that's life, isn't it?
I know. I like the early days in TikTok when I was a bit more, I would used to make discount codes out their names.
Love it.
I think my favourite one I was so chuffed. Somebody commented and said, this boy's an absolute idiot. I actually found out who the guy was. He was a guy in his 50s as well. It was quite sad. This boy's an absolute idiot. He doesn't know anything, the first thing about business.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm voting you Fanny of the Month. So I made your Fanny t-shirt inspired by him. It was black. I designed it myself. Literally, we had it whipped up in no time and made a discount code out his name of 10%.
Brilliant.
I think we sold about like 300 t-shirts. It was something mental.
Yeah.
And we called it says, and I showed the graphs and all that. I was just not good at business, am I?
Love that. That is brilliant.
Oh, it's just, it's like, because then that would annoy them because there's nothing they can do.
That's
like,
it. No. How do they comment back to that? Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
not only have you proved him wrong, but you've just made money off
him. I just anger them even more.
That's really good.
I think with trolls of that, you've got to be quite clever with them because I think I've always said that with people, how they handle, they can make themselves look like when they go in totally bullshit and all that, and like you've actually kind of made yourself look. It's trying to be. I've always said with a troll, if you want to reply to them, it's just trying to defend your point and be clever and funny around it while not insulting them. Because I mean, you could go on and go insult something about their appearance, but then that's bringing you down to their level. And then it just gets nasty. So whereas you just want to be able to say something without anything coming back on you. And then you know yourself, if you've got a good following, if you have a positive channel and you want to do positive things, you've got positive followers. You know what I mean? And that's what support. Just because you get one, if you do negative content and like narcissistic content, you're going to attract bad people. But that's what people like that want. They want that around them. So, I mean, if you get most of your stuff's good side, it just shows you're obviously attracting good people. Like.
That's it. I quite like on TikTok sometimes where there is a negative comment and they'll repost and do a like response video back to that comment. I quite like that because you get your point across and you're sort of not outing them, but you know, you're sort of.
Because somebody commented, he's a driver. He's not far from us, we're pretty sure. And he's like, aye, he's not even a real trucker. And I made a video that says, what is a real trucker then? Because I fix these trucks. I've got models made of my trucks. I've got this, I've got that. I've got tattoos of trucks. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have this in me anymore. You know, like, what is, I said, we go to truck shows, we do this. It says like, we build trucks, I fix trucks, restore trucks, we put different truck engines in trucks. What more can I get more to be? I says, if it's roping and sheeting, I can do that. I've driven Eaton twin splitters, I've driven American trucks, I've driven the 2-stick trucks. And I'm like, how am I not a real trucker? Come on, mate, tell me. What's that one thing I'm missing here?
Exactly. What did you, at the time of obviously starting your channel, was there an influence that sort of made you want to film your own content?
No, I mean, how did that all happen? I remember for years, even when I was at SNT, I kind of fancied doing YouTube, but I didn't actually know YouTube you could like do quite well. Like I just wanted to do it as a hobby.
Okay.
But I was quite busy because I actually used to like do film with my GoPros, like snowboarding and stuff like that. And he used to put music to it. It was just things for me and my mates, you know, to have like a wee kind of time capsule. We loved them. And everyone said you should do something. And I did kind of think about doing something like when I was at SNT, like, oh, you could film like polishing and cleaning but I'll be honest, I didn't know you can make money from YouTube. And I was like trying to focus on that. If I knew what I could do with YouTube, and I'm still not like doing like awesome on YouTube in that sense, but like I could have been in a lot better position. I don't know, but I never knew at the time. And all I ever had was Facebook. And it was actually after I bought my truck. Well, I think I had the truck for about 6 months and everything was not very good personally. Like things were very different, very hard. And I was not in the best place. I was still running the business, like, because I was trying to save a business, but then I was obviously left to my own thoughts for a long time. And I was at my mate's house. I was kind of either staying in the truck or staying on his couch. And I was kind of questioning like what I was doing, because when I wasn't working and I had nothing like to do, I'd be at his house, telly on, really bad, like not looking after myself, like drinking cans of beer and smoking fags.
Yeah.
Like it's like a bad kind of, like not saying I was like being an alky or anything like that, but I mean, it'd be the weekend instead. Because like there was COVID as well. It wasn't like I go home with my family or see my friends. I was just all by myself. So this was it. Smoking fags and that. And then I just had the phone and heard about TikTok, downloaded TikTok. That's how it started. And I thought, I'll get Instagram. I didn't even have Instagram. And I uploaded some old GoPro footage videos and just stuff like that. And then I uploaded the old SNT stuff. And then I just started making wee videos on my lorry. And I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, I've got like 100 followers. This is quite cool. Oh, wow. And I was still doing it. I didn't even tell anyone I was doing it. And it was when my best mate phoned me. And he says, you didn't and I think this way I had like 5,600 followers. And I went, yeah. And I was really kind of like embarrassed, like, because I didn't know why I was doing it. Well, I knew why I was doing it. I was doing it for a mental escape. It was my own mental escape from, like, I had all this energy and I was just like powering into negativity, like, you know, what I was going through and all that. So then this was just a kind of thing for me to like a wee.
Bit of an escape, really.
Yeah. I went, how do you think it's stupid? And he went, like, I thought, because he usually would tell me brutally, like, he's a really good mate. And he went, no, I think it's brilliant. Keep doing it. He says, it's better than everything else that's on there. Like, everything else was just like lip syncing or dancing around. I was showing like how to tie a load or something, or just I don't know why. I just kind of did it. And then before I knew it, just grew and grew and grew and grew. And then I remember when it just went mental me and over 100,000. And it was, but even then it was still not even kind of, I didn't know, because it was weird, because we were at, like, still sort of in that kind of lockdown, half lockdown, whatever was going on. And I was just driving my truck, being in the Highlands, in my yard. I never went anywhere. I wasn't going to town. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't like going to the pubs. I was literally truck yard, caravan, truck yard, caravan. This was my life. And then I went to Peterborough Truck Show when it came back. Me and my mate went down. We got in late, went to bed, and drew the curtains, very drunk. Once we got to the truck show. Before somebody tries to manipulate on that. And
too late, somebody's already now.
Somebody's already
AI'd you saying I was driving drunk.
Yes. That's it.
Have you seen the AI on the Joe Rogan and stuff like that?
Oh, it's dangerous.
It's really bad.
Terrifying.
You'd have to watch it a few times and think, is that
I can't sleep. I take these every night. These pills are like unreal how good it is.
I know, it's terrified. Oh no, that's it. Cool down the pan. That's it. Police are coming. That's it. So I woke up like, dying. Oh God. Where's the cider? Cider. Need Thatcher's Rose cider. Can't drink lager in the morning. Cider. It's questioning what I'm doing. And on the steering wheel, like, Sean's like in the top bunk. I'm like, drew the curtain forward. Pull the curtain back. I say, Sean, there's loads of people outside. He says, what do you mean? Sean, there's terrorists. Please look. Dude, it was like curtain twitching
waiting
out.
for you to get up.
Didn't know what was going on. I says, we done something. Like, I was thinking, like,
what have I done?
Yeah.
Like, where have we parked? And I'm like, so I didn't know. So I was like panicking to pull the curtain forward, put the window down. How's it going? People says, can we get a photo? And I went, of what? With yourself? Me? Sitting there in my boxers. Get up.
Not now.
And then I stood there from like 8:30 till like 8:30. I just did not know what was going on. It was weird. It was mental. still could. And then when we came back up the road, Sean was telling everyone, like, no, you won't believe, like, how mental it is. And then it was only when my other mates would see it as well, they couldn't, like, and I still, like, I mean, it's still, like, mental to go to a show or even just anywhere, just out and about, and people, like, even
Recognise
coming
you.
down last night in the services at 1 o'clock in the morning, just got ran in, and the guy came and says hi and that. And it's nice. You do meet a lot of, but it's still just, like.
But it took a while to sink in, really.
Oh, no, it's still sinking in.
Still sinking in.
Yeah.
I mean, I still, because it's when people are like, oh, like when they'll maybe say something like, it says, guys, I just like filming, documenting with the truck. There's no other thing to it.
No.
There's nothing different. I've not done, I have not made any massive one hit single music.
Yeah.
I've not done something that actually deserves of recognition.
It's so niche, but
it says, I literally, I'm doing what, there's thousands of people doing what I do.
Yeah.
It says, I'm just filming it.
Yeah.
And it says, that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Like it says there's loads of people. And I think that's like, I just want to show, and it's only if people say, what's your goal with the content? I said, I don't really know. I just kind of still do it. There's times I've felt like stopping doing it. And I'm like, I'm done with this. But then it's just when you're not in the best of places. But like, I just want to show people like Jack does. It's like hard work gets you what you want, not acting like an idiot.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Online, hard work, and then showing people like, I hated social media on Facebook and all that because it was so full of utter, like, like people going, life's great, life's great, life's great. And I remember I used to be very negative about my life once. Like I couldn't, like, because I always just felt like all the bad luck that was happening in my life this was just my path, right? It was just never going to be, it's like, it doesn't matter. And then, because when I went to do my driver's CPC, like I'm dyslexic, and they wouldn't give me a scribe or a tutor. They wouldn't give or someone to read when I was in the exam, wouldn't give it to me because they didn't believe, even though we had letters from the doctors, and we had letters from my head teachers and that saying Sandy's badly dyslexic. Bad, not just little, like terrible. No. So I thought, right, I've got to learn how to be able to read. And books were so hard to read, but then I was given by a driver, SNT, Guy Martin's first autobiography, and that was the first book I read because it was easy to read, because it's written by a person, not they're not putting stupid words that
make no sense.
They're writing it as they speak, as we were having the conversation. And I was reading this book and I went, oh my God. And then, but what I got from the book, never mind Bill put me on the path of reading books and getting me to my CPC, was what I got from the book was Guy Martin did not have it easy. No. He didn't just, was that an overnight? He wasn't just being a mechanic at Mick Moody's and then just got recognised and bang, that was him. No, when you actually read the book, you're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I read John McGuinness's book. I've read Diamond Castle. I've read loads of autobiographies. And when you read people's books, you realise when you hear how hard it was for them, it makes you like more hopeful, inspired for yourself. It says, well, hang, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's why I want to show people the hard stuff. And I get so joy when I do meet people because they say that. I says, what I like about your content is because you show the shit.
Yeah,
it actually makes me feel better about my day and my life. Because when I'm having a shit time and thinking the world's against me, I see, well, you got the exact same. Everyone's having hard times. It's like, it's not, you're just waking up and it's just all there.
Diamonds are made under pressure, mate.
Yes, diamonds. And I said it, I says like, because when things are really hard and when I see someone going through a really hard time, and I've said a quote I came up with in my head and it gets me through so many times, this is because it's true. Personally with myself, it says at my darkest times have always came my greatest moments, because I believe when you're under pressure, you will produce some results. Like my new truck, honestly, God, I've been under a hell of a lot of pressure for a long time, and I've been coming back from a lot. Like it's been a long slog. And when this opportunity came up, I says, I don't care what it takes. I'm not missing out on this opportunity.
You've got to make it work.
Not for the fault, not for the harsh times we went through recently, and like the financial cash flow and all the things we're going through. I am not missing out on this opportunity because this is my moment, and I am going. And then especially because I remember I came across. You should never care what other people think, but it's good to drive you forward. I don't know where I came across. Somebody was just absolutely laying into me on social media. It was on somebody else's video or something, saying, that was me. I'm all washed up. Okay, it's not like I'm a boxer or anything. It's not like I don't know how you can be washed up. I'm just running the business. And it's like, my content's this and business. I was just getting absolutely slated. And then he was like, nothing's good's coming out of him anytime soon. People should just unsubscribe from him. By any means, this truck's coming home. I don't care what. It's like, I
it's
just
happening
want,
now.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
getting done.
just so he can just be like, Don't know who you are. User 1184555 whatever. I don't know who you are.
This is for you.
Thank you.
That's it. Yeah, no, I think everything that does happen for a reason sometimes, and moments like that pushes you to
you
make yourself better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look at SNT. You got sort of a bit fed up working for somebody, but if you didn't,
well,
you got stuck in.
Well, no, but it is true because I found myself when things are really good and like I've said it, I've seen myself like pockets full of cash, this and that, and I have taken my foot off the gas, and it's bad because it's hard to put yourself back in a stressful position to push yourself forward. But I work better under pressure, because like what it says, if you're going somewhere, because I've done it, I started doing it with more confidence now. Oh, I've got a load to here. I'm just going, but you don't have a back load. I don't care. We'll figure it out because I know, because you know, if you don't find a back load, you're going to lose a lot of money. So I will phone 10 times harder than everybody else. Like when you're under pressure, you're going to phone 10 times more than somebody that's got it all good. But when you're doing all that, you're spreading the word, you're making yourself more heard, you're doing more contacts, everything. And then out of it, you may not get the job you want, but you might get something else that leads to something else. And I have found that. And it was like, you have to look back in your really hard times to be very grateful for them, for what they made out. Because I think, I can go back and loads of moments like last year, but I think, honestly, God, I moved back up the road with the truck, and I still tell people this one. Now, people might slag me for like, oh, you shouldn't have been doing that much work anyway, but I was desperate. It was that bad. So I was working. I was on the I bought that trailer for like, I think it was like kind of my last kind of spare money at 4,500 or something. I had a year's MOT, painted it myself, and just was running logs. And I thought, if I run the logs, and once I get to the payment terms, and I kind of worked out, it says this can kind of bring us back in. And like I worked all it, right, this is what we need to do, and we need to do this work as well. And the lorry will have to go do this work and be double shifted with another driver, my dad, or that helping, whatever we can do to try and save the business. And then I was doing the shop sales as well because the COVID happened. That was generating me money, so I couldn't turn down that either because I said, well, this is money. And I was just burning the candles at both ends. And I remember I was still under a lot of pressure, and I broke a spring. I remember the trailer broke a spring on the way to the mill, and I was like, oh no. So I chained the spring up, like to get the load, to get it off the road. But I was only just outside Fort William. So I chained it up, drove it to the mill, got the load lifted off of it, and then got the axle up, drove it back to the house. And I mean, see what I mean? Rain. I mean, like for me to say it was heavy rain because I'm Scottish, it was heavy. I mean, if you've seen Forrest Gump when the rain comes up the way, because it was like, if you looked up, you drowned. I didn't have the yard yet. I had my caravan and a garden, and I reversed the trailer into the garden. And my mate came down and gave me a hand and changed this spring, and soaked. I mean, and now that we're in the grass, you're looking for bloody like the bolt and the bloody spring
mud, rain,
man, spring eyes and everything. And I got into the cab. I was exhausted. I think I got it done at like 11:30. It was finished, and I had to go back out at like 4 or something, like leave. So I was buggered.
Yeah,
and I was already exhausted up to that point. I know you got to have your rest, but I mean, at the time in business, it wasn't like I was working for greed. I was working to save my business.
Yeah.
And in the caravan, the electrics were a bit dodgy, and I got up in the morning and was tired, and I went and flicked the kettle on for the coffee, and it blew the fuse.
Oh no!
I was like, oh God. So then I walked over to the house and made my coffee, went in the door, put my door in hand. I was just shaking. I was just so tired. I was just mentally exhausted, and I was just stressed out, and I just started crying. I don't know, I was crying. No one was there. And then my mum heard me and came through, and she's like, Santi, fucking hell, you need to go to bed, man. You're done. Like, this is not healthy.
Yeah.
And I cried. I mean, this is the skint as I've ever been. But I had to say to my mum, Mum, I am so skint. If I can't afford sleep. I said, if I don't go out today, we won't have the money next week.
Oh, that is so sad.
This has to happen. We need to do this. And it's fine. Once I got going, it's fine. And I look at those moments because it's like, see when like things are really hard, and then like you're struggling, and then when somebody knows you really well, like whether it's your mates or your one of the alternatives is, you can do this. You didn't get to where you were. Think of these times. Yeah. And then it does. You go, let's do this. It gives you that like more grit and strength.
Yeah.
It's just, and I think I love when you speak to business like Murdoch's, Nickel, Tennant, Snedden's, like all of them all these guys that are somewhere had a moment or have a few moments. And when you hear, I love those stories. Not like it's great to hear all the fun stories that we see when you hear those defining moments of like when they nearly close their doors, or when, we got driving all day and then working all night fixing it, and then, I had to go down to Manchester to get a diff and come all the way back up, stick it in it to keep the contract. It was like, this is what it is. That's the side I want to show in my like content, like the real side. I mean, I don't want to, it's not all like, whites, pipes, sugar bites. You want to show like this is the real work. Because I think there's so much on social media, people are withdrawn from, they've like, look, your truck simulator and all these things are great and all that, but I think literally they think it's that easy. It's not. You've got to, you can't describe
blood, sweat and tears.
Yes, it is.
Literally.
But you will never, unless you do it, and you know yourselves, he's in a business, see when you get that win, and then you could go through hell for ages, but see when you actually like that, there's not a feeling like it. It's that kind of like, it's the biggest endorphin.
Yeah, and you got to ride that wave as well. You got to keep them. That's the thing with running a business as well, is you have that high. Yeah. But you've got to keep riding that high and you need for as long as possible.
That's it. And then you take more risks and bigger risks, and people are like, why can't you be happy? But you're not. I think it depends on what it is. It's like, it depends what you're chasing.
Yeah.
And it is. It's like addiction. It's not like I mean, if you're a naturally addictive person, it depends what your addiction is. Are you addicted to bad substances that are not good for your life? Are you addicted to things like that? But then, I mean, maybe it is like just as bad because it is stressful. It is effective on your health.
Obsession.
Yeah, it's an obsession. And I think, I was saying that to someone, like, I think the world, there's too many pressure put on people. Like, see when you're saying like, find your passion, find your obsession. I don't think that's for everyone, because I think there's something quite nice that I get jealous of seeing someone that works whatever job it is, and they're happy, they're content, they love their job. It's not like whatever it is, like maybe they just work in a bakery or a cafe, they love their job, their simple job. And I don't mean that any offence, it just looks so peaceful. Yeah. And they love their life.
They don't take the stress home afterwards.
Don't take the stress. Yeah. And they are quite happy. But there's people, no, you need to find what your passion is. You need to, like, but that's just pressure. And I'll tell you right now, it's a curse. Yeah. It is a freaking curse as well, because it's like, when you're putting that much heart and effort, people, it must be great because it's your passion. No, it's hell. It's hell sometimes, because you're like, see, when you're not winning at it, you start taking it very
personal.
I've seen me lose my temper and just not want to talk to anyone and being really kind of like distance myself because I'm getting that frustrated with the whole scenario. And it's like, and then people say, find your passion. It's great. Yeah, that's what passion is. Passion's hard going. It's mentally stressful. Like,
yeah. No, I struggle not taking things home from work. I have a mate who, like, he can have the worst day at work and he goes home. That's it. He flicks a switch, turns into a different person. He doesn't care. It's work.
It's work.
Literally, something could have happened at work that would have ruined most people's life. He goes home. Is what it is. I'll go in tomorrow and it's what it is. I don't get that.
I've got a mate like that. I'm getting more and more like that. I can kind of go, okay, it's what it is. But I've got a mate, he is so laid back. Big Scott, LM, lovely guy, gentleman. And he's been a great friend, been there so much for me. But I mean, I've seen us, like, we kind of do loads together and some will go wrong and I'm like, we can't. I'm getting angry. He's like, not good, not good, Ollie. And that's the dog, not good, Ollie. Upper crust, go
just
for lunch. Go for lunch. Go for lunch. We've got this. I could be there when we get back.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you need those types of people, though.
You do.
Sure enough. Yeah, well, 9 times out of 10 it just unravels and sorts itself. I've seen some things in Scotland, Betty says, but he's got the right mindset. One of his lorries, it was just a tipper. It wasn't even the driver's fault. Like, just Pete sticked and it went over. And then, you all right, Scott? I says, the driver's all right. That's what's important. He says, you're not bored. It's done now.
Yeah.
I know, it's done now. And I'm like, that's it. Easy as that. It's not even done now.
It's like my granddad's exactly the same, and I can come to him with that. For me, my life's over. It's finished. And he's like, what can you do about it? Oh, nothing. Well, what are you worried about it for then?
That's the attitude. I think it's like trying to take those moments. I think it just depends what other mindsets you are in, because it is. I think, I don't start this week, and I was so like, no. And then, but also just having the right person there to kind of say the right things to you, and it makes you go like, actually, you're right, can send you with a better attitude. And by the end of the day, I'd had it sorted. By the end of the following day, I had it sorted. Like, whereas before, if you're not in the right kind of homestead, you'll just freeze up and you'll obsess about the problem instead of thinking like, it's bad, but it's fixable. Everything's fixable. If it's not fixable, why do you care?
That's it.
Just walk away from it. If it's something that can't be fixed, No.
What can you do about it? Yeah.
Is your mum worked with your dad as well? Is she from the industry or?
No, mum's like my dad did it and that was it, and like he was the only one. Obviously, I was working with him, but no, like it's not. That's something we're not like kind of like a whole. You see like families and it's like life and that. No, my mum still just did her own thing because she's not like into like doing bookwork or all that. Yeah. Mum's a grafter. Mum is a proper like, and that's what I mean. I've made me clear. It's not like my mum doesn't do anything like that. Like saying she says my mum is a grafter.
Yeah.
My mum is my everything. Like
So that must have been hard for her then when you're getting no sleep. It's either make or break, and then you've got to go out the next day.
I felt so bad, and I kind of realised that especially I must have put my mum through a lot in the last year or so because she was there a lot for me when I was really struggling with stuff, and I kind of when I kind of came and said I put my mum through a lot, and I felt so guilty for it. So I decided, like I hold more back now because it's like you can deal with it. I don't need to tell her everything that's wrong now. And when she does say, "Are you worried?" That's what I'll figure it out. And I think because I would speak to my mum about things. Oh, this is bloody going wrong. Something's happened, but I know I can fix it. It's fine. I'm just kind of venting off. But then my mum would start panicking for me. I'm like, my mum not panicking. Oh, but I'm worried for you. But mum, if I'm not worried,
you shouldn't be worried.
You shouldn't be worried. But my mum can't help that.
Yeah.
So I've maybe just found the best thing is just not to tell my mum.
To hide it. Yeah.
To hide it.
This is a shame, but
but it's not. It's like, where it's really bad is because I think it's like my mum did, but my mum like honestly, I think. I really do appreciate my mum and my dad, obviously, but I mean, like, when I look at my mum and like what she does is like, she's just everything. She's so fun, and like what the life she gave us with what she had. I mean, like, my mum is just hard as nails, and she's like, coolest guy ever. And not that everyone loves my mum. Like Nathan, Josh, Alec, they've all met her and they're obsessed with her. And my dad, right? And I'm very proud of my mum and dad, like how everyone gets like loves them. And like my mum's brutal sense of humour. I'll tell you one thing she said off camera because I think a lot of people will be like, Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, like, even I was like,
wow.
Just a quick message from us, guys. This all wouldn't be possible. The Talkin Shop podcast wouldn't be possible without Eclipse Diagnostics, the company that's made all of this happen, really, haven't they, Aaron? Yep. The leading supplier of Jaltest diagnostics. If you have your own commercial vehicle fleet or a fleet of machinery or even boats now as well, vessels, make sure to get in touch with Eclipse Diagnostics for the Jaltest product, the world's #1 diagnostic product for commercial vehicles.
You always seen it. He was getting her nails done. And then literally sat in and then she I was asleep. One of those really like solid hues. Like all the smells of all the nail polish and that.
Are you one of these people that can fall asleep anywhere?
Anywhere.
Oh really? I can't nap either.
No.
Oh, I love a nap.
I could literally, I'll be awake all night and then throughout the next day, Ellie will like go back to bed or whatever, go to sleep, and I'll have to stay up until it's bedtime.
Aye.
Yeah, I can't nap at all.
I don't like kind of happen, but if I'm exhausted, I just take it out because I find it harder now. If I take a quick 15-minute stunt, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If I end up going in for those, if I end up falling asleep for those deep ones, I wake up and I feel horrendous.
Oh no, absolutely.
No, that's me every time. If I nap,
I feel
my missus.
So I try to avoid, but I'm finding I don't know if it's just I do find it harder. The thing is, I'm only 30. Well, I'm only 31, but I have started to find things harder now, which I shouldn't be because it's only like 3 years of a difference in speed where I would doesn't bother me. But I can fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I am proper like just once I'm sat down, I feel tired. If I think like I can sleep one. If I'm tired, I'll just go.
Just go,
But I've got a mate, my best mate, Charles. Oh, I love the boy. He is like, but he is like, when we're going down the mud gullies, he's like this. I don't know how you could do this. We're rough and ready. He's like, nope, I need a proper laid out bed and comfort and hotel room, and I need my exact sleep. I can't wrong that. I'll be like in the van, like bags and all this. Like,
you talk about mud billies. That certainly looked like that.
And you got there and forgot your keys. Oh, I'm sorry, I laughed.
It was when we left, and then I think it was like the fact is like. Wait, I just remember walking to get the bike and I went, Charles, we forgot the keys. And he went, we forgot nothing. You forgot the keys. And
I felt the pain
You couldn't
for you,
have
to
been
be
further away.
I know. It couldn't have been any worse. And I was like, and it says, and the worst thing is, because Jack wasn't going to be there till the next day. Jack had, because we were going to bring all like our own tools and all that. But Jack said, no point you bringing tools as well. I've got all tools.
Yeah.
I was like, right, okay. So Charles had some tools. He's a Sparky. So he had fiddly little screwdrivers and a toffee hammer.
Yeah.
We just went at it, just smashed hell out of it until I was just I'll go the Jeremy Clarkson approach. I'll just smash hell out of it until something happens.
Fixes everything, yeah.
I got going. And then I actually need to get a bike. We haven't actually got the bike. When we got back, Mudbilly's changed us. Jesus.
I saw the pain.
See, to get out was like an endurance in itself, because the field was just eating us.
Yeah.
It was physically just sucking us in. Like, it took diggers and tractors lifting us out. If I was to go, but I don't think they expected it to be that bad, because we've seen photos and videos of it last year. It was like, I think there was just such torrential rain before it. But it was a good laugh. I mean, like, for absolute chaos and fun, and it was so funny, the things that were happening. Like the back of the van getting like the mud bat on the back.
I was going to say, there's a video I think of Nath and a few other you guys just sat there literally just like, what have we done?
I think it was when I came off the R6, because literally just took the bike out of the R6. I took the R6 out of the van. Yeah. Sandy, this is the BBC. Do you want to film this?
Yeah.
Now, this wasn't race day. This was just us arriving. Yeah. So it was like, obviously we're excited and we're having a couple of drinks. I had a bottle of Buckfast. Okay. Things happen. Because all I thought was, we're just taking the stuff out.
That's it.
And then we're just walking back to the hotel. So we were kind of like, right,
let's get cracking.
We don't need to drive and we're not racing today. Let's have a beer. Yeah. Right. And a beer turned into a bottle of Buckfast. So literally got this thing out. Hadn't test driven it or anything. Oh, no. And the guy's there in the BBC and he says, you're not really going to ride that. And I says, aye. But because the mud was so thick, he says, doesn't matter the tyres we put on this thing will not move.
Yeah.
But it did. Yeah. Actually, because when I took off, I was like, oh, we're away.
Did you? Right? Oh, yeah.
So I kept it pinned and then I came off it and I hit the tank body hard. And we called the boys like, geez, and says, are you all right? Because he thought I broke a rib because the way I was walking. I was like, no. This is what I've bent it. I bent my cock. Absolutely banged it into the tank.
Oh God!
And I was like, it was so tender. I was like, and I got to the hotel and I was kind of scared to kind of have a proper look. And I was in the shower and I went, Charles. Yeah. And he was like, is it bad? And he says, aye. He says, you want a second opinion? You're my best mate. Aye. Because I was like, I don't want to lose it. It was like a newborn star. I mean, the colours. I was like, he's like looking. He was like a scene at a still game. And he says, "Oh yeah, Jesus, Sandy, that looks freaking sore."
You won't be using that for a while.
Oh, it was. I was like, fucking hell, man. That was. It's just when I came off it right over, because that was the thing. It took off so fast, but when it stopped, the mud just sucked it in, and all the force of me just went right banging over the thing. Aye, that R6 was one of those ideas. Like, I'm one of those people, like, because Jack says it, he says, I've tried to talk Sandy, but when Sandy gets an idea, he is, he's on it.
It's that obsession again.
Yes. Which I think is not a bad thing to have in life.
It's
really.
not a bad thing, but I regretted it once I got that thing.
In that case,
no, but like, I remember we got the bike, I had hyped up that much, and we finally built it, and I took it out for its test run. I think it's one of the very few occasions I started to really, I was, like, I've never been like, I'm not scared. Like, it's quite a weird thing. Like, see Extreme Fit and stuff we've done snowboard. Like, I've never been like I'm not scared. Like, nearly died a couple of times snowboard. Like, just doesn't. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is.
Are you a bit of an adrenaline junkie then?
I like going bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anyone to be. If it's like if there's a big jump, I want to make sure I go further.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want anyone sitting there being the legend. I want to be the top. I want to win.
This is good. I like that.
And I built this bike and I took it out and I was a bit like, I'm actually scared of this thing. Like, there was a bit of me, and I even said to Charles, you want a shot? I'll get a shot. And then but I said, you're having a shot. He decided you'll never get me on that. That thing is terrible. Because it's trying to mentally train your brain. Now, I've run bikes, right? To go into the corner and you're already going fast. Now, this is how it works. You're already at the corner. If you're here in the corner's there, before you know it, you're at the freaking corner.
You need to be over before the corner.
If you take your hand off, so you come off the power, you won't be able to turn. You'll go straight on. You'll crash. You'll die. Right? If you go into the corner and you hit the brake, you'll go straight on, you'll crash, you'll die. Yeah. Anything you'll do, the only way to get around that corner, which is really hard to think, is to accelerate harder to get the thing to
get out.
Power slide to turn it. The way we turn it, and it was just, and it was, because when you see the videos, like when you're trying to go slow, it's so, I mean, Charles was filming me when I was going flat out, and you can see that's where we got more control, but you can see like I'm like, buddy, you're using every adjustment.
Correcting it.
Oh, especially when you got the camera, when you got the 360 facing me, you can see how much I'm moving on that thing to keep it on. Like it was, it's because like I said, before you know it, like we're on this tiny forestry track road, and before you knew it, it was like you start here and I was like, Caucus, you're doing, I don't know what we were doing, but I was terrified to look at, but in the camera, you could see, and you just know it was like one wrong move, I'm coming off freaking hard, but I'm like,
it's going to hurt. Yeah.
I need to make this look good for the content. I have committed to, I am a badass. I'm
here now.
I'm going to make this look good. No, it was, we need to get it out again. We just haven't had time. We had the plan, like, we're going to make all this content because obviously the business was busy. Yeah. But like, we still had time to like do all this other stuff, but this year's just gone, it's just getting bigger and bigger. And obviously the more like, because the way I do my content, not going into things too much, but like I was very limited to what I could do before. And then when I started, I'm doing everything the way I want to now. I don't care. And all I just want to do is like, I want to like, if I put someone's load on, I want to document, I want to show how we do things. And I just want to do my day to day. And it's just bringing in more and more. And then people like, and the thing is like, I want to show my content as well. Like, I wish I could video everything I do, because I don't.
No. Because
I'm that obsessive about the job. Like, because like I did a job, it's a brilliant one. We got a few photos and videos of it, just a short, but it was this big bit of metal for a boat. It was in the dock, right? But it was a big job for me, and like to try and get into this work was like, yes. And I take it deadly serious the whole time I'm there, because I don't want anyone thinking when like I'm all about the content running around and all that. No, I'm taking this so seriously. We've got the walkie-talkies, we've got health and safety. I don't want anything to bugger up, because if anything did bugger up, people will be saying, you should have been buggered around filming then.
Yeah.
If we can film in a safe manner when we've got time, but when time is in the essence, I want people to look at me and go, get Sandy in because he's good at what he does.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would be good to get to a stage with, if you got the good YouTube revenue, because right now it does all right, but it doesn't pay for trucks.
You've still got to do what you can do.
Yeah, it does what it does. I mean, we get a wee extra a holiday out of it or something a year, maybe that's what I'll earn, which is a good bonus. I enjoy it. It's nice for it being a hobby, for something that gives you something back, right? And but I did say it would be nice if I could like afford like a good cameraman and an editor knew what I'd want. Say there was these big jobs, just to go like, right, come out, and that way I can do what I'm doing.
You can concentrate, focus.
Yeah, and then they can catch, because there's some really good things. I'm like, oh, this would be great.
Do you think you're far off that?
Yes.
All the viewers are just gone,
oh, no, it is. It's like, I think, because people see by like that, they look at that and they look at the truck and they go, oh, social media pays that. No, I honestly got to see for years, like TikTok pays me nothing. Mind you, they've now started a new way they pay people. But before it was like 1 pence for 1,000 views, and it wasn't worth doing.
No.
It was really bad. So people used to think, oh, your TikTok money. I'm like, I don't get a penny. And people were very surprised. Well, we don't. And then the clothing, well, that was good fun. But the problem is with that, I was selling so much of it. Whatever I was putting in,
you're sort of reinvesting.
Yeah, no, it's not as big as it used to be, because people don't exactly, and the margins are very thin, and I'm very like, I don't want to sell really thin stuff, so my stuff's more expensive.
Yeah.
When people are at shows, they see it's better. Like, they feel like this full 3D embroidered. They feel the hoodies and go, oh, your hoodies are amazing. I said, I know, that's why they cost 60 quid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I know theirs is 35, but mine is a great hoodie.
It's a 60 quid hoodie.
Yeah. You see, when you actually do a lot of clothing, you actually find out a lot of things. Not to mention a very popular brand that begins with Hugo and ends in Boss.
Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah.
We had the same hoodies as them. We had the exact same ones. Really? The company I was by says these are like, they come in from Turkey. These are the exact same ones.
Yeah.
Right? We'd put on their wee logo there, and they're £160 hoodie. And people would buy, oh, because it's them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
It's just
Have you seen the? Do you remember Phone Jacker where he rings up and goes, "Right, I want to order some t-shirts." Yep. What do you want them to say? Tommy Hilfiger. Fred Perry. Some hats as well. On the hats, I'll have Hugo Boss.
That's it. But it's like,
Brilliant.
when you actually go into Cole, you actually find out they're not making them in some gold and silk.
No.
You know,
This is what amazes me about. I mean, I like some designer clothes, but the clothes, the price, it's unbelievable for literally a t-shirt.
Well, that's it. Well, these ones, these are special. You can feel like they're thick. If you stretch them, you don't like a cheap t-shirt. You do that and you see through it. Right, but that one, like, they are
it's
proper
good quality stuff.
These are like proper quality stuff. But my t-shirt are more expensive. So, like, going back to like on the earnings, like the margins got thinner and thinner, and because I will not go the cheaper option. I don't want to go the cheaper option.
No, it's your brand at the end of the day.
That's it. I think it's just right. I don't want to go the cheaper option on my business. I don't want to go the cheaper option on my service. Because if you do, then that's the image it presents yourself. I'd rather go long-term, high quality, long-lasting. Right. And I was very chuffed because my mate actually found one of my very early t-shirts just recently in a charity shop.
Oh, really?
No way.
Very high moment. I think I've made it. My clothes have gone to the charity shop. Yes.
They've not gone to the bin.
Yeah.
They've not gone to the bin. They've made it to the charity shop.
No, this is too good to throw away.
I'm vintage.
That's it.
But that's it says, and I remember when it was at its peak with the clothes. I always go, we were packing so much stuff. And I remember when I got the big bobbly hats. They actually came from China.
Yeah.
But they were better quality, and I was the only one. It was my own distinct design. Everyone goes on about my big bobbly hats. But that year, I spent over 50k in clothing.
Yeah. Really? Wow.
You can imagine, like,
yeah.
I had to have a lot of beers to make that payment.
Yeah.
But it was, even then, the problem was the money I was making, I was firing it back in, and I was firing back in. So it's still a business itself. It's not like, if you looked at the profit at the end of it, there was, say, 30 grand.
Yeah.
Like, over the whole year. I didn't keep the 30 grand.
No.
The 30 grand, you stuck into other things. You try to do the other stuff. And
See what else sells, and
that's it. And
the truck needs this, and
trial and error, and all that kind of stuff. And then YouTube, I always started at, we're over a year now. And now it is like, but even then, I think the views I get and the effort I put in, it's like, I think the most I ever made in 1 month, I'll be honest, I'm quite open. I made £1,900 in 28 days. That's the most I've ever done.
Yeah.
But it is now kind of around about the average, 1,000. People are, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't run trucks.
When you run a business, it
doesn't run trucks, and you get taxed on it.
Yeah.
It says, and you got to take my time and effort. And it is better than getting nothing.
But it is also another full-time job.
Yes. But it's just the proof is that's not paying for all of this. This is like the business, this is my effort and time. This is like everything I'm sticking into it and my hustle. And I'm not running a business. I had the business before I had social media.
Yeah.
I did business before I did social media. Social media just came as a part-time thing. And I keep it very separate in the sense of, because people say it's like, but what if you started earning the big YouTube money? It'd be great. Oh God, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Fantasize about it, right? What have you got the big YouTube money? But I probably wouldn't. I think I would have to stay true to the channel, keep it away from SGIM. Because if I started like spending, like put it into the trucks and the trailers and all that, that's a false image now.
Yeah.
Because it's, people say, but it's part, no, I think it has to be its own thing. I'd rather just say, we're making YouTube money, but I'm going to fly like me, Sean, Jack, well, 2 Seans. If I don't mention it 2, they'll get upset. This is, let's go to a country and go see trucks out there and make content, and I'll pay for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's just fun with me and my mates. That's the bonus. We get to spend time with each other. And there it is, we get something from it. Because I think if I started spending it's a bad business sense as well, because social media can end tomorrow. I've always I've got all my contacts. I've got like all my business relations. I've got everything like that genuine through SGIM.
Yeah.
Through hard work and grit and like hustling and all that. If I started putting YouTube money in there, like solely YouTube money into it, and it was like benefiting new trailers and new trucks and this and that, if then YouTube did end tomorrow or anything, everything doesn't last forever. Yeah. Okay, my business plan was based off of this, whereas just keep them separate. That does it. So if one dies, it's not pulling the other one with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're staying true to what you're...
I'm staying true to what I am, because like it is like, this is just passion in my business, because if we did, this is You know what I mean? Oh, trust me, I know it'd be easy. I thought, oh, imagine we're making $5,000 a month for 10 grand a month from YouTube. That would do so well. But I think, I think I would probably just keep that to my personal.
You'd only end up reinvesting that into the business and just put another, you know what I mean? You'd end up maxing that out on something else anyway. Yeah.
That's it. And it's just like, where does it start? I think like, maybe like, do something, but like, I think like, all right, we're going to maybe do a truck build. Yeah. And that's separate, but just keep SJM doing its own thing.
Yeah, you can have a separate channel for
and
that.
I don't want, because the thing is, well, somebody went and says, I run for cheaper rates because I have YouTube money. I says, I don't care if I was making mega YouTuber. I ain't running cheap.
No.
Never. No. This is one, I think it's very disrespectful to other hauliers. Right, I know it's business, but I think it's a very cheaty way, and I think it gives you a bad image. Like, oh, he's doing it for 500 quid less a load because he makes it up with YouTube money. No, that YouTube money's that's my bonus.
Yeah,
right. Why would I would just be giving myself more work. So if it's like, let's say hypothetically I was making like 500 quid off a video, I don't, but let's say I was,
and nobody else is going home and spending hours editing videos.
Yes, exactly. So I'm working harder. Yeah. And I'm editing longer, so I'm actually working more for the same money as them, so they'd be more clever than me. Yeah. It is an added on bonus for myself, and that is it. And that's the way to keep it, because if you start doing that, you're just changing the structure of the formula and you're like people's image on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're going to end up in trouble. Where's the weirdest place you've been recognised? Because it's quite a niche thing, isn't it? Like with trucks and whatever. And then like I had my neighbour text. I had my neighbour text the other day. He was like, I was just scrolling through TikTok. Obviously, I've had good interaction with, like, you know, you speak to your neighbour, like, oh yeah, you're right. Oh, when are you next going on holiday? Blah, blah. Yeah, this weather. But it's like, he texts me out of the blue. It's like, and the last text was like, can you take the bin out for us while we're on holiday? It's like, but he texts me, it's like, either I've just seen your identical twin on TikTok, or I was just scrolling and you run a podcast talking about trucks. And I was like, yeah, but so, do you know what I mean? It's quite niche. He's not from this world at all. Yeah. And even he's seen it.
I think, where's the weirdest place I've been recognised? I think like the furthest place I've been recognised was out in Canada, because it's like a different audience out there. And I mean, like, I was out there with Chase, and I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere, like proper redneck. It was great. Yeah. Me and Nathan. And a boy there recognised me. Well, no, there was another guy, but there was another one that was just standing there at a bar. That was, because there was a guy who was obviously friends with Chase, they knew us, but I was standing at a bar and a guy was like, he was shocked to see it, and he couldn't believe I was there, and I loved it because he, like, being out there was really nice, because I was getting at truck shows stopped being, I don't get to walk around truck shows, so it was quite weird just to be not known again. Yeah. And it was quite nice.
So enjoying it for the environment.
And then this guy, it was quite a nice interaction, because he was just totally annoyed. He says, you're literally in my hometown in the middle of nowhere, you're on the other side of the world, what are you doing here? That was probably, like, I'd say, like, the weirdest one to be that far out and still this random town in the middle, like nowhere in Canada. Like, it's not a place you go on holiday to Canada. This is like redneck nowhere. Yeah. So that was good. But I think like when like my mates have said to me, like, I think two examples was like my pal worked in Bristol, he works on the boat, so he's based in Bristol, but he's out on the boats, and he says like, all the guys were going on about this flat out, flat broke, flat, and he went, because he's not on social media, this boy, and he goes, that's my mate. And he's like a free spirit. Yeah. To tell you, he's a great guy, but free spirit. He once lived in an ambulance in the woods on two upside down fish boxes with a door. Yeah. Right? That was the bed frame, and then the matches. That is how disconnected he is. Yeah. I go skiing with him and snowboarding. I'm sure you do, Andrew. He's like trying to get a hold of me, Sandy. What is on? Because he was just on the boat in the middle of nowhere, and he's looking. He's like, what? I
don't believe this.
How has this became of Sandy? Because I wasn't telling anyone that I was doing it. And then there was that one, and then I think my auntie, she stayed down in Plymouth before they moved up, and she said she was in the hair salon, and they said the girl was like, oh, there's this Scottish guy fixes truck. I'm not interested in trucks, but I like watching. And they go, and she says, that's my nephew. Like, you know, and she says that was when she couldn't believe how big it was, but she says she's down in Plymouth at a hairdresser's, and they watch it, and they could not believe.
That's bonkers.
And then I think it's the weird reaction of like it's still weird, because even like Sean, there was on like Sean Kirkpatrick, Trucker Sean. He phoned me yesterday, and I was laughing because I wish I knew this is why he was phoning me, because I would have not answered the phone, because it would have just been hilarious. Because he said, Sandy, you know we're friends, but I just treat you like you know, you're just my friend and we're just friends. I'm like, yeah, bro, and all that. He says, but one day when I'm going to be there, I know Sandy, and like phone you and be all cool there on the end of the phone. It was just like obviously joking, sarcasm, taking the mic. And he passed me in the lorry and he phoned me. I went like, Sandy, you know how I went and says I was going to phone you that day just to show off? Well, today's that moment. I've got the wash boy with me and he's absolutely giddy as hell. And he's just passing. I'm like, I know him. He's my friend. I phoned to that. I went, I wish I knew your phone. Not for the sake of the wash boy, but I could just picture Sean going, he really does answer the phone. I really do know him.
Who are you? Yeah.
Sean who?
I think I know you. Yeah.
Brilliant. Did you watch their podcast?
I'm going around because I'm still playing catch up. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're funny.
That was chaos, wasn't it?
It was chaos.
Yeah.
See the fun that we've had. Like, I think, I don't know, it made me think. So, like, I love, like, everyone I've met. I love my mates I've met through social media. I love them all. And I love them. And one of my biggest things I'm very, like, deep down with it is relationships with people, like, long lasting. Like, I mean, money and all that comes second to me. I mean, like, even when I've been on my arse, I've chosen in situations like, nah, I choose the people rather than money. I mean, even when people say, why do I use your skint? I says, I don't care. Like, this is why I have a relationship built on money, because it's not a lasting and it's not trusting. It's not, if you know you got a relationship because of your mates, and it's like Sean and all them, I love them all. Jack, Jody, Nathan, Alex, and all my other like mates I've grown up with. And a big thing I like to do at the end of the year, it's just became an annual thing now, which I have to try to do it again this year. It says, we've called it the Fireball Mixer.
Yeah.
And that's that big party we have at the end of the year.
That looks fun, that does, yeah.
Oh, man. And they all come up and the crack and like, I don't know, I just like, I love like, especially like the last one I had, because I wasn't going to do it. I was not going to have this party. Because like, at first I did it, it was...
Is this when Jack did his back or something on the
bull?
On the bull, yeah.
Aye, and Jack's tattooed my, like...
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, he's tattooed my leg and my lips.
Yeah.
Get your hand.
We've heard the antics that goes on. Yeah.
The reason we got the bull was because we weren't allowed fireworks.
Right. Yeah.
Because
right,
I'm going to try and tell the story without getting us jailed. So, I had fireworks the year before. I had basically legal fireworks that I don't know where they came from, but you buy them off a guy in an industrial state.
Guy, yeah.
They're half the price. Okay, we have to be financially wise here.
Yeah.
So I've spent about £500 on fireworks and I'm throwing this party.
Yeah.
But then my mates are all like, buy more, we all chip in. So £1,500 on fireworks.
Oh my God.
They all went off and they off. So I was like, I was raging. Yeah. So I says, next year I'm not buying any fireworks. So no fireworks. But big pal Scott came up, Murdoch's and that.
Yeah.
Sandy, brought you fireworks. I guess it was actually for my birthday this time.
No.
So great. So it came up. 4 big massive white boxes. And I thought they were full. No, this was just the firework.
Oh, right.
I mean an end each.
One.
I don't mean like a white box. I mean like hold an end.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a fuse, there's like a detonator.
It's a nuclear.
No, a detonator, there's a plug.
Yeah.
I just checked the paperwork and I'm like,
oh my
Yeah.
God. That's got to go in the
so
bank.
anyway, set 2 of them out. Scott's there bugging around with wires and all that, the battery, I think. Oh, when these went off, Jesus Christ. Buddy, like, these are proper firework displays. We set them off in Odich, right?
Yeah.
One of them just exploded into bits. Like all the tubes went
Before
everywhere.
it took off, yeah.
No, because it's just all those boxes.
Right, yeah.
But it just went bang, and then all the tubes went everywhere, and the tubes were flying everywhere. The other one just went, and it was just a sea of green light. And my mum didn't even know we had them because we were so drunk. I didn't even go in to tell her, by the way, we've got fireworks. The light just radiated through. She said it was like Independence Day. The big shit, but it was like, I was like, oh, you couldn't see it. Everything was on fire. It was, the police arrived, David Askew, because it wasn't just a complaint. There was multiple complaints of made of like, and I went into the container, which I quickest thinking ever. Hey guys, hold on. Came out with this box from Morrison's. We bought the Panther kit, $49.99 with 5 rockets. You know when the neighbours are like, oh, your neighbours are terrible, Sandy. Meanwhile, the smoke, thank God, is floating like, down the village.
Yeah.
I said, where are you going to now? I think we're going to go back up to the town. I think you should. Don't go down to Balhosh. See all the smoke. So anyway, no fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mum, usually I would still do it, but my mum, personally, was like, no, sorry, none.
No.
That is it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Is it one of those places as well? It's a small place where if you start, everyone knows everyone, so you start pissing everyone off.
Like, my neighbours sort of like me, but there's ones that are a bit like, but then there's ones that really do like me. They know I'm not doing bad things. I just kind of get up to mischief sometimes. Yeah. But then we got I thought like, I don't know what came into my head. Oh, it was what Steady went and says he got a mechanical bull for his birthday or something. And I was like, I want to try to get one of them. And I said to my mum, Now I pay for it. I don't mean like when I say, can I get, like, it's I pay for this, like, obviously, but I'm still going to, like, not upset my mum because I am around her house. Can't get a mechanical bull. Sandy, if you can get a mechanical bull, fire on, but I'd like to see when you're going to get one. Went off.
Watch this.
20 minutes later, came back through. I've got one. And they're bringing it at 7:30 because that's they can't get there any earlier. Perfect. We'll all be smashed. And this bull, right, arrived. And at first it was like, you know, like all kind of, hey, and then falling off it. But then it was like, get it. I got us all gambling, like 20 quid each. You can stay on the longest. And I jumped on it.
Nice, good though.
Oh, I stayed on this. Like, I've got a video. You hear Jack shouting, like, Jesus. Like, I asked Jack about this. We went on it and I said, turn it up, full whack, right? And it was like that scene out of, all it made me think was Wallace and Gromit, A Close Shave, where you see him, it says, just a close shave. That was the point of the thing, right? Like that. Ready? And I was like, ready? I hit it. It didn't like go up slow, you just went hit and it just
bang.
And I mean, so I think prior to that, we could stay on, the longest stay on was like 59 seconds of him building it up, right? Yeah. 8 seconds. Everybody else asked that. I think somebody else got to 2, but I mean, like, took blood out your hands of the rope, like violent. I could not believe this. Knees blown out.
Yeah,
I remember, like, all my muscles. I realised how ill I was. Like, all my muscles were torn because we were on it for that long. Playing with this thing, it was best thing ever.
How long did Nath stay on it?
Nathan, probably about like 2 turns, just 2 top heavy, fat bitch. Oh, sorry, can I tell you a story about Nathan? He's going to right? Funniest story me and Nathan have, right? So we were in Canada and we were coming back. It was a disaster to get back, right? Yeah. Oh my God. So first of all, there was a forest fire, so we had to leave early and we had to drive through this forest fire. It was impressive, right? So we got to, where were we? We flew out of Vancouver, but on the way back we had to fly Vancouver to Toronto, and Toronto back to Edinburgh. And our flight got delayed and then we missed our connecting flight in Vancouver, so we got this is all sorry, and that was bad enough. They were just going to make us sleep, and they didn't care. Oh, you'll get another flight. It was like 38 hours, and it's just sort yourselves out. That was their attitude. And Nathan, like, we're kind of giving it the bit of aggression to, like, no, you can't just do this to us. And it's like, elderly folk were getting hotels. Why are we any different? Like, we live in the modern world. I identify as 88. Okay? Like, I was like getting, so people might like kind of judge me for doing this. Desperation, right? And this new guy came on, more of a manager up it, but he was like, a wee bit more flamboyant, this guy. Brand new, and he was a really nice guy. I guess I'll try and sort. He's like, oh, you do that, thank you. I says, you've just got such a hard job. I'm like, I'm for it, okay? I'm doing whatever I can. I want this, right? And then Nathan's over the other side, right? And then he turns us over and says, are you also, I will get a hotel room, and Nathan kicks off, and I'm like, shut up, you big ginger oaf. Shut up. It's what? He's giving us a hotel room plus taxis and everything and meal vouchers. We're sorted. Sorted.
Yeah.
As I've really done a lot to get us here, okay?
Yeah.
So we got there. So we got a taxi and then we were literally in a motel, but it was like it's like crack den area. But it was just laughable. And then in the morning, we're going back to the airport. Love Nathan, but he loves, he's going to be annoyed when I say this, but he loves his size, right? He's like very proud of himself. Right, Nathan. Okay, so he's there, right?
Eddie All's twin.
So he's there and he's in the taxi.
Did you see somebody commented, but I didn't know Eddie All drives trucks.
That's it. Eddie All knockout. He gets that all the time.
Yeah.
So we're there and he's like, he says, well, I'll tell you what, like I do. I said, I'll tell you what, lad. He's like, do you get yourself a bigger car for lads like me and all that? And the guy was Indian.
Yeah.
He goes, yes. He's like, he says, big boy yourself, yeah. And he's like going on and all that. And then this is the best thing I have ever heard. He goes, my son, yeah, he is big and he has a big pickup. That would suit me. I like a good big pickup of that. Yes, my son said, but he is tall, not fat. Oh my God. Like Nathan's face. Like, he was just, because his face was so chuffed of himself. He was like,
because he's very proud as well.
I know, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, just so like
So it dropped.
I just melted in tears. I was tired and exhausted, felt like at home. But when they said this, I cried. So like he's like, and the guy was like, I didn't mean it like that. No, you've said it now. You've said it now.
I can imagine him doing
just stripped him of everything. And then we'd still be got in a taxi with a cheeky kid. I'm just you stop laughing. I couldn't even get away.
I can imagine him in that moment.
Oh man, and then he would even be on the plane. I would just be like burst out laughing, and then he still things where you would say something. Will be like we'll be at a truck show, and then he says something to me, and I go, I mean, he was tall, not fat. But he was like, "You said it." Best thing ever.
It's something that will stick with you for life. That
it's so funny. I think it was more the fact I didn't just say tall, not fat. It was the motion he did. I would be tall, not fat.
Love it. I love that. How did you meet all the gangs? Was it all individually, or was it
through social media? No, sorry. Getting back to like the full fireball mixer. I think that's like I loved getting everyone together and like I don't say like somebody says like there's something weird I've always like quite enjoyed, and it's like people say like, would you ever want to what do you want to leave behind in your life, or what kind of statement or legacy? And I've never really thought about it, but this is the one I would say I'd want to leave. And like how the third fireball mixer ended up coming around was because I wasn't doing it. I was not in the mood, and we're in the pub, and then my mates were like talking about it, and then they went and said, we're talking about the tattoos. Yeah. And then one of my pals went and said, Kieran says, aye, Jack tattooed me. And I looked on his wrist and it said DR. And I went, who the hell's DR? It's not his bird. He says, who's DR? Oh, your mate Drew Ramsey from Blue Girl. So this is three of my mates that just met through me.
Yeah.
And I had the confidence to let one tattoo the other one's initials on it.
Oh, right.
And my heart just went, that is everything I live for, is bringing people together.
Yeah.
So it says, bugger it, let's do it. Right, let's have another one.
Yeah.
And I do it. And then it was, we were at Mudbillies and Alex, Crane Up.
Yes.
Right? Lovely Alex and his missus, I love them. And he said to me, like, we always have a good relationship. And everyone was giving me pelters from Mudbillies because it was a pyramid scheme, because Falvey sold it to me. Yeah. Right? But he thought it was this big track on the side of a hill, but that's the one that happens in the middle of the year, right?
Oh, not
the one we went to. We all went to the wrong one, right? Yeah. And so it was a pyramid. So when we arrived, everyone was like, Sandy sold us a pyramid scheme. We thought we were getting this, and this is what everything's blowing up, everything's wrecked, we're covered in mud. Everyone's taking the mic, and we're having a laugh. And then Alex said to me, and I tear my eyes at, he says, I'm going to say something to Sandy. He says, see, if it wasn't for you, we all wouldn't be here. And I was like, what, here today? No, we wouldn't all know each other. Yeah. We wouldn't all be friends. We've all met through you. And you've put on the parties. You've put on the stupid things. You've done the things like to try and bring, like, and he says, I met them through them, and we've all met, like, where we met in somewhere, but it was all this group and people, and how we know your friends from up north and they know us. Everyone's connected through you. It was all through you, Sandy, and it's all great people. That's why the fireball mixer works, because everyone's sound. There's no bad people. No. And he said, and I said, I was like so happy, and I said, that's the kind of legacy I will. I want people to like, I like people. I'm not like, oh, this person's like my wee, they're good. They've got this skill, and I will keep them to myself, and they're all mine because I benefit from them. No, if I think, you're going to benefit if you know him. Yous are two sound. You do well in that. Meet. Yeah. I don't need anything from that. Just so you know that you get on well and people can make their way in life. That's good. More important to me than what I can gain from everybody else. Yeah. You know, and it's a close gang as well, considering that everybody's quite far away from each other. Yeah. And see, when you've got, like, I've got amazing mates that have had me through hard times. Like, I think, you know, like Trucker Shaw, like all of them, right? And Jack and Jody, and then my other mates are obviously my like Jamie and Charles, man, that boy. And like all of them, like, they're there for you, like just talking to you, like, see when you're really struggling through something. And they're there, then they've got your back, and you know, they generally do love you, and I love them. You'll do anything for them. Like, it's amazing, like I says, this is when people say like, social media friends aren't real friends. I'm like, actually, I'll be honest, there's people I was friends with that were my mates, but they've taken snipes because I've made new friends through social media. But these are great people. Yeah. And I went, well, you're not really a real friend. You're getting like just dropping me because I'm doing social media. I'm not doing anything different. I'm still the same. I'm not changed one person.
No.
I am. It's just you can't change as a person because there's new people coming into our lives that are great. And we got, my mates love them. And it says, I said it says, and like, I mean, like, even like Jack, but I think the videos he was saying, I was going for a time, like he was like so, like had your back, like the things he'd say, be like, Sandy, you know what I mean? Like, and all of them. And
that's the sort of people you need to surround yourself with, really. In
times
like
it says, you want these people in your life. Who you got around your life, mate? And it says having bad people like can really affect your life. I've always noticed that, and it's trying to get rid of them. And it's like, but having the right people can pull you through anything. Because like Charles, like you won't know. You might see him in some of my videos or my photos. Like he's, like, honest to God, boy is golden. And I was struggling badly, and we went to go out. He said, "Come on, we'll go out." So we went out, and he could see I couldn't even hold a conversation anymore. I was that mentally wrecked. I couldn't, like, people try to talk to me. I wasn't fucking like who I was. And he went, "Nah, let's go, we'll leave. Can't do this. You're not
had enough." Yeah.
Aye. And I said, "Nah, Charles, you enjoy yourself." He said, "Where do you feel comfortable?" I said, "I just want to stay in the caravan, mate. I want to just listen to music or whatever." "Well, we'll just do that. But you all go out." "No, I don't." He says, "We'll just stay here. We'll stay here till you. We'll stay. If it takes months, we'll be here for months. It takes years, we'll be here for years. We'll be in this caravan."
Yeah.
And great things came out of that caravan, like music and all sort of great projects that came out of it, and things like that pulled me out of it. And it was because of Charles being there when I was home, and then having like Sean, Jack, Jody, Nathan, and everybody, Alex, like all of them on the phone where I was just maybe just a bit, just talking away to you. Like, I mean, I owe everything to these people. Like, I'm not like, where I am, like, just so we can put myself. You need support like that from people that really care for you. And they don't, and there's nothing in it for them.
No.
There's not one thing. They don't bet. It's not like they're there and then going like, "Oh, can we make content together?" That they don't care.
No.
And that's the thing. You see the Fireball Mixer, you'll be there and you'll see nobody really makes videos. Because people say to me, "Oh, when's the video coming out?" There's no videos. I don't do filming.
You just enjoy time.
I do a wee bit, or maybe TFO, but I'm just in the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoying your time with your mates.
And my mates, I couldn't care. I could not care less. And I know people say, "Oh, babe, really good." I said, "But you would take away the purity of it." And the
Because there's certain things you won't be able to say. And,
well, that's it. And the actual laughs we have, and getting that time together.
Yeah.
I said, you can't put a price on it. There are things like, you need to disconnect from like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to separate yourself sometimes from, right, that's my private life. That's what I want people to see.
And that's like, I've been around people that are fully obsessed with content. Like that is it. By all means, it's constant. And it's like, and I just feel it's not real. And to me personally, it's like, well, if there's no, if you're only getting, if I was turning around and said like, "Oh, well, they're not doing content, would you want to be here?" Because we're just here because we want to be here. We're not here like that. This is all still just fun. And just I added on bit and extra. I think when you make it I'll never want to make it my sole purpose.
No.
I nearly did that last year. I was trying to make that like kind of round around that, and it made me miserable as hell because it wasn't a real world. You weren't around real people. Like you happened to be like, trying to please people, and I'd be like, I mean, that thing is like it's like working with brands. Like that's the other thing. It's very complicated because there's very few brands I kind of generally do work with or companies sort of because marketing and let's be honest, a woke way, because so many companies are so nervous about like taking on someone, but they could be really offensive or they could do this and then like they could damage our brand. But when somebody actually trusts you, right, and it'd be things like, and it'd be people I don't like because they want you to be someone you're not, and I'm like, I don't really like them. Oh, but you could get this out of it, and but then but what kind of relationship's that? Because then it's just money between yous, and you know right away when you do something they don't like, or there's someone better walks through the door, you're out. Yeah, that's not. No. It's just, whether it's like, nah, we work together, and I've got your back, you've got mine, and I think people are kind of seeing it now because like people appreciate like that are buying into a product or a brand, that they appreciate that kind of actual down to earth support, and they'll support that more. I mean, if you want to look at it this way, going off the sort of topic here, but the whole thing with Johnny Depp, Disney dropped, everyone dropped them. Yeah. Everyone is right, F you. Yeah. It's like, it's backfired on them massively. What brand stayed with them? Dior. Yeah. And Dior have backed him like, not just because words have been said, there's no evidence. Yeah. But and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, and that is the foundation.
It's that whole cancel culture, isn't it? That's what they talk about.
It is cancel culture. And I think, and people, I understand companies being worried about it. Well, I do get that, but I've had, like, because I don't believe like I'm, like, offensive. I just want to believe I'm real. Like, I'm like a normal person. I accept, because like, I remember without going into much detail, it was like, I was bloody raging about this. So we were in Vegas, and me, Chase, and Heavy Hall Fool went to go for drinks. Have you ever been to Vegas?
Yes. I haven't. Just been.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Amazing though.
Amazing. But $25 for a bottle of Budweiser is like quite hard going. So we were wanting to just have a drink, but we didn't want to gamble. Yeah. And it's hard because you know yourself in the casinos, you can't just go to a bar. No. You've got to gamble.
Yeah. Everything is. You want to go to the hotel reception, you pass a casino.
Yeah.
You want to go to the restaurant or the shops, you pass a casino.
Everything. Yeah. So we decided. Now I told this story to. We were at a show, and there was this company, and I was just generally being me. I tell stories of crack and funny things that have happened because I think it makes you more human of who you are, right? Instead of just being like, yes, no.
Don't take yourself too seriously, basically.
Yeah, so I'll literally rip the hell out of myself. And basically I said the story. We jumped in a taxi and we said to the guy, me and Chase and Heavy All Fool, take us to a dive bar. And he's like, the boy didn't speak a word of English. And then I get phone up. Dive bar. Double Down. Take it. You won't want to go to Double Down. Mate, tough as hell.
Yeah.
We will knock the hell out of Double Down if they've got a problem. Literally got in, motel parking lot, in a ghetto, waltzed him. Hey boys, what you want? Right. We got beer turned round. This gentleman is in a thong. There's a lot of double denim. There's a drag show. We were in a gay bar, right? And I mean, it was like that scene out of American Pie, the wedding, where like he's like, that's what it was like. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
And we just went, we're in a gay bar. We started laughing.
Yeah.
So, we'll just stay. This is drinks are cheap. We got a booth. Had a great night.
Yeah.
Drinks are cheap. The staff are lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing wrong. I said, we don't care. I'm not going to get into this. We're just having a good time, having a laugh. Yeah. And then, anyway, we got left and that was it. And I told this story and I was like, had a laugh and all that. And then there was words being talked and then said to mum and says, oh, Sandy shouldn't be telling stories like that brands are coming because it could be very offensive.
What?
Right.
How's this offensive?
Yeah.
He's just telling the story.
If I turned around and said, we went in the gay bar and I was like, let's get the hell out of here, boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
All we kind of showed is it doesn't bother us. No. We're having a good time and a good laugh. And I think that would make you more.
Do you know what it is? People are offended for other people. Do you know what I mean? People are offended for like, it's so bizarre. People get
upset. Well, that's harsh on him.
He's not offended.
He made the decision. It's bonkers. That's the world we live in now, though, unfortunately, isn't it? It's. I think people are quick to worry about if something will offend somebody without, as you say, not even directly offending them.
Yes, that's it. I mean, like, if you could hear the brutal sense of humour we all have over the phone, like I says, it's like, even I'm like, but it's all fun. And I think,
I know. Imagine, do you know how bad the world is now? I've said this before. Tell you what, they best not see the boys chat. Do you know what I mean? Like how offended everybody gets online. Imagine if they saw the chat between the boys.
But I think people are. It's just like when you've got an opinion or like your view, and then people get so. Well, it was like when you had the thing with White on. And I went and looked at the cock. I like what it says, and I totally agree from the whole thing. Like driver quality's down. Yeah. Like just for example, I had that puncture yesterday. I was on the phone. The guy started chatting, but I feel bad because I've got to take these 2 phone calls. I jump out. Sorry, mate. I had to get those 2 calls. Now you're out of the way. Used to fit tires. Gave him a hand because it's easy with 2, especially when you get your Durability. Not try to scratch it. Give him a hand, and he said, I came away for tyre fitting for 4 years. I came back and I used to get people to help me. Drivers would jump out all the time. Now they just sit in the cab. They don't even put the suspension up. They don't do anything. Nothing. And and that's what he says. He says they just don't do it. And then he says, go look at the comments. And I couldn't believe the comments of people being like, how dare someone ask me to do that? And I'm like,
I know. I know. To help yourself anyway.
It's help yourself anyway. It says, are you a steering wheel attendant or are you a driver?
Yeah.
Because don't call yourself a driver if you don't.
Yeah.
I remember I'd be at SAT. Christ, the crap I could do.
Well, you could come out and if that was the argument, you could say then, well, I'm not doing my walk around inspections and, I'm not going to check the vehicle. I'm not going to look after the vehicle at all.
The thing is, I do understand, like, there is obviously drivers that have companies that won't let them touch it.
Yeah.
When you can't touch it. And I do feel for them, and I get the whole, because I mean, there's times I've seen guys like, oh, Jesus Christ, don't touch it, you've made it 10 times worse. Like, I'm not really, I think, like, what were you thinking, even doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the world is getting stupid. But it's just like, I remember being down the road at SNT, if, puncture, like, repair it, get it, because it's Friday, I can either sit and wait for 4 hours and get out the road late, or I can just fix it. Doesn't bother me. I mean, there'd be loads of things you would do to try and get stuff done. But the amount of guys who just admit defeat when they arrive, like, oh, we can't get this on. Why? Like, he says, oh, because there's no forklift.
Yeah.
Can you handball it?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Oh, the things I've done to get a job done. Yeah. Like, I'm very one of like, that's
the thing though. It's not saying, you have to do a ridiculous job or something that's so difficult, really. A mechanical technician should be doing it. But if you can help yourself, that's the point.
I help yourself. We're not asking you to, like, your drive job, but when you come up, do you mind whipping that gearbox out and doing all that? No.
Start getting the Jaltest out, programming an engine ECU. Let's get that new air dryer on. Let me calibrate it.
Yeah. We're not asking that. It's like, it's like things you would hear boys are getting people out to do, and you're like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, get a grip. Like, actually, honestly, get a grip. And it's just, no. And it makes me sad, but I think, like, it's not just driving as a whole. I think it's the world as a whole. I think the world's just getting so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, like, everything's getting done for it and everyone expects everything. Like, there's no initiative to think and there's no challenging.
No.
Nobody's getting challenged anymore. So they're constantly sitting in level 1 all the time. And you see them just totally like, and you're like, no challenge.
Nah.
And no progress and no, you know what I mean? I think, like it says, I think Ricky Gervais says it. It says we should just start, like, the fact is we've had to put on bottles of bleach. Do not drink these content.
Yeah. That sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Pete White said, didn't he? And I like this. The thing about common sense is it's not very common.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, and I think
I'm only going to do driving for another 10 years, and I'll be in Oxford doing lectures on common sense. Okay? I'll have a doctorate in common.
Funny enough, that was the next question. Was actually like, where do you see? You've got your new truck now. What's the next goal? Because you clearly have an obsession. You'll clearly have a goal in your head.
I don't know.
What's the next one?
Because people keep asking, "Are you going to get more trucks?" I went, "Nah." I says, unless, like, I'll be honest, I am not interested in buying 5 trucks of chase work. I'm not fantasized about it. I'm not, honestly, God, could not be bothered with it.
No.
I like, but if there was like a job came on a contract and I won it, and if it was priced at my job, if I says that's what I want on a day rate, and that truck doesn't obviously essentially run itself, I can stick the drive and everything on it. I am, and it's like, oh, he runs waste from there and then he runs that stuff back. Yeah, we'll do that. I am not interested in trying to find more work because I do find what I do. I'm quite happy, and I says I've got my hands in other fields and other things that, generate me revenue. I like to keep just enjoying truck driving, but obviously on a high level, like, and I like to, I've always said it, I'd rather do the long haul game of people phoning you because you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I want to be the person, I just want to keep pushing and refining that skill all the time. I want to be like, somebody phones because you're the only one who can get in and out the job. Like, when I see these guys, like, oh, he was the man. I want people to be like,
that job was done properly, and I want him back again. Yeah,
he's good. He says, should have seen him when he took that load out of there. Like, I want to be that level of but constantly pushing, not just being like, I want to be pushing that level of, like, you phone me to get the job done. And then and not saying, well, the price is the price, like, I'm ripping you off. Like, I don't mean that, but it's like, good companies will phone you and they want the job done right, because I find it absolutely mental when there's like, oh, can you move this very expensive piece of equipment that's cost £500,000, but we want it done for buttons.
Yeah. No, it's relative to...
Why would you get to this stage?
We won't say what it is, but we have one about something like that, don't we? Where they spend fortunes on things, but then to look after them, not willing to spend the money.
It doesn't make pods. I hate when somebody phones me for a pod, because it's usually a couple that have got in their head, they'll get a pod, and we're in Scotland and they go, well, we bought one bottom end of Wales. Why'd you buy it down there? Okay, it's so much cheaper. You do know it costs money to get it up.
Yeah.
And this thing's 3.8 meters wide.
That's
This is movement orders. This is escorts, police escorts when we get to up to highway.
Thousands, tens of thousands. Yeah.
Everything. And then they think you're a rip-off artist. And then this is the best bit. And they go, I'll tell you what, I'll break it down for you. And I break it down. That is the price of everything.
Yeah.
And then they'll see this like figure at the end. Oh, and then let's just say, I don't mean this, but the whole job costs like 5,000, right? Let's just say that's on the extreme level. That's on the high abs, the escorts.
Yeah.
It came from way down south. I'm just doing it for easy maths. It wouldn't cost that much, but I'm just doing it for easy maths. They say it's £5,000, and then they say a grand in. But you're making a grand profit. Well, first, am I not entitled to make profit?
But business.
But that's what you're seeing right now. But I've still got other small overheads. I've got like long-term revenue of the business. I've got
fuel to put in the truck.
Yeah, and everything. And here's the other thing. You're paying for me. And anyone that's good at their job, whether an electrician or anyone that's got a skill, you're paying for their experience. You're paying for their attitude. You're paying for all, and also I say I'm like doing the risk to reward. And they'll say, what's that mean? Well, if we've got like a digger on and I'm driving the digger through a narrow village and I hit a gatepost or something like that, I take the gatepost down and I upset a farmer or someone and say, sorry, okay, things happen. I'll buy you a new gatepost and it cost me a couple £100 or, between it's repairing to get someone out.
Yeah.
If I pod with a gatepost, I'm ripping a 30 grand shed open.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good to go to the insurance, and that's going to, so there's your risk to reward. And you sum all this up, and it doesn't, when you look at it, it's not very like wise in the end anyway. But trying to get that into someone outside the industry's head, they just think.
In the end, you turn around and go, actually, do you know what? I've just added up. And actually, no, I'm not going to take the job.
So I did one of that. I turned around and said, I'm not doing it. I said, you know why you're phoning me to do the job? Because I'm the only one in the area who will go down and get it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of a good thing I've got. There's great companies in the area, but a lot of boys, understandable. They can't get drivers that want to go away south a week. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because it's my business. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So, they will push work to me. This is all, we don't send anyone down there, phone him. We know that's how it works. And it works really well for me. And then I know that when they phone me, and I'm not saying I can take them out of the price, it's just match my price and that's it. And then they go, and then they come back to me 2 weeks later. Just wondering if you'd be still interested in doing the job. Sorry, auto plant. Mike, great guy. He's been helping me out a lot. I just wanted to give him a shout. Really genuine guy in the industry. That was the first day I met him.
That's a good shot. There you go. Look.
I like those kind of shots.
Yeah.
GTR Gary, he's got a nice hard grafters. Them boys is like.
Yeah.
But that's what it says. Like, and then they phone me back and they're like, I wonder if you'd still be interested in doing it. But is there anything? Have you thought of anything more on the price? Like. Well, this is no. In business sense, considering you phone me back up tells me you can't get any cheaper.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
No. I says, in fact, I've actually put it up in price. What? Well, fuels went up. I says, nah. And then I got to that point. I said, look, can I be honest? I'm not interested. See, unless you want to pay me up front before I leave, I'm not even interested.
Yeah.
Oh, but I says, no. I said, I'm not. I says, you really can't know it, and I can just get the feeling. No offense, this job. Yeah. It's going to be hard going. Plus, I seen you slander me on Facebook. You didn't mention my name in the company, but you had a rant on Facebook about local people, like businesses need to get able to get all this. It says, I'm not interested.
And it's always already sort of fills you with a bit of doubt, thinking, will you pay me at the end of this job as well?
Once it's on my trailer, if it's a one-off in that, I send you an invoice. Unless I know you and we're really like that kind of says. But see, that was a decision I made. This is, it's none of this, like, I will do it and then we'll invoice you. And you're like, because it could depend what it is. You don't know, and I'm just sometimes a wee bit too like putting too much faith in people. Now it's like, look, everyone's getting treated the same now. It says on the trailer, I'll send you a full with your invoice. And you pay before it arrives.
I've seen the card machine you've got in the truck now as well, which is a really good idea.
Really trendy with that.
Yeah, really good idea. Because there we go.
I look at my card. Don't you want it?
That's it. I like that. I really like that. It's a good idea.
No, it's like I do like, this is the end result. I don't know what I want, but I think in my head, I fancy, like, if I can fantasize, I'd like my nice house, like everyone does. Mm-hmm. Nice truck. Maybe if I had 2 or 3 like really good trucks and lorries and good guy drivers and all that, and just had like, if you had a few houses properly rented, you had a few things to go, but I want to enjoy it. I don't want, like, I love the stress. I love the challenge. I love the push. But like, I think just the way I see companies go these days, like, great companies. I mean, I've seen it like in many companies. They're great, but when they do get to a size, driver quality drops. Like Mike said it, he says, like, they're just not there. There's boys that'll come in, they're not going to look after your tackle, they're not going to be the same. And I think eventually you're just running a big monster. And it's like, well, what direction does this monster go in? because then this is your baby. Do you sell it, or do you, like, you know, it's that kind of thing, like, do you kill your image? Because once you had a very high reputation, but then what size do you get to when it gets so falls off for the size, and then what's your goal after that? Is it to build it so big to hopefully somebody wants to buy it? Or the way I say it, well, if I'm making good money and having a great wife, and I can get other streams of revenue, and I know my target and goals, because I think, like, if you had 50 trucks on the road, how much more money are you making for all that month? It just depends what you want, I think.
Yeah.
Like what your goal is. Yeah, there is still a fantasy of, like, oh, imagine having a fleet, like a big fleet.
50 SJMs on the road. Yeah.
And then, like, rolling them out and having the workshop. I love the idea, and you could pay all the drivers good wages and you could be down to earth. It would be great. But then I do sometimes see, I think the world driver quality and attitude is just not there for it is to get you there now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get you to that stage, it's just, boys did put in a lot of time and effort, and you appreciate your guys that do, because at the end of the day, they must have a passion for you and your business as well. I mean, it is your essentially your business, and you're asking guys that are just earning a wage from you to push up. But I think it's always having that. But I think there's just, and you can understand it, but there is so many people that are like, no, I want to work the least hours, I want the most money, and I'll go anywhere for 50 quid more. And you're like,
that's it.
It would break my heart too much, because it broke my heart when I was at SNT, when you'd see guys there and, like, Stuart would put a lot into them and then he would bugger off because they got offered something slightly better. And you're like, I like the idea of being long term somewhere. Like, you know, like
being loyal as well, really.
Being loyal.
Yeah,
like,
especially someone, you know, who believes in you and wants you to do well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I love going to haulage companies and seeing guys that have been there for years. Well, I like going into, like, Sean Prentice's yard, like Sharp, and then you see, like, the drivers he's still had there for as long as I can remember, since I've met him, and it's just great. It says, and then you go to places, like, every time you go in, there's just different faces. It's not the same, and it's just weird. And it's like, I just think, like, I think you just, to have SJM, what you believe in, and if it went that way, basically that's how I'd like it. If somebody went and said, we want a fleet of 50 that's always changing hands and people and smash bumpers and
like, people come back to you because you're you, and you get the job done properly, where you can't guarantee that. Well, that's it. There's 50 other people doing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or would you want a fleet of 5, good trails, good drivers, nice yard, nice house, and you've got respect, steady going, and all that, you've got crackier drivers. That's more appealing to me. Yeah. That's the more, and then, like I says, and if you can manage to grow the YouTube channel beside that, and the YouTube channel can pay for fun things like, there's your bonus, there's your win, have a few extra things, like, you know, and like I said, I want to do well in life, and I want to do, like, you know, great things and have fun and have nice toys and cars and all that. But I think having, like, a good legacy with people and good time is more important to me. That's why I love the Fireball mixer and time with my mates and laughs and time spent together, because you can't put a price on what that is. No. And if you're chasing a corporate monster, there'll be fun things on the way, but you lose the enjoyment as well. You'll lose your ticket out as well. Yeah, you lose that. It will become all encompassing forever. Exactly. I think I don't know what it is. I think just personally, things I've gone through in time, I just want to be, as long as I'm making money, supporting my family and my friends, and I'm fucking happy. I couldn't care less. Like, if you turn around and said to me, "Oh, they're doing this," good for them. I'm happy for them. Good. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm not. I'm a competitive person, but I'm not like, oh, I need to be doing, like, no. I mean, competition is good, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to poison my life to try and impress, because people can say, why aren't you buying more lorries? Don't want more lorries. Yeah. Oh, but surely he wants that stress. No. It's like, in their head, it's more money's surely that's more like, that's the natural progression. It's growth. Surely like, there's different types of growth. I mean, just because you don't show it. I mean, I do things off screen that people don't know I'm involved in. And personally, I try to keep things very, like, away, because I end up obsessing that much, I end up turning them into a business, and it's not bloody thing. It's went from a wee hobby passion, a wee mind. Like, everything I've done has been like, oh, this is just, I just like doing this thing now. Okay, this makes money now. It's an actual full-time thing. And then you will need eight days and 7. Yeah, and it's like, so, like, there's things I do behind the scenes that people don't see that I'm involved in. I don't post everything I do, and there's other projects I work on that I'm very passionate about, and, like, I like having that. And then I think it's just a nice thing to have, like, all your different kind of. And I said, I think it'd be great if I had my truck, my great loads, good work, and if it went quiet, there's no work next week. I'm not bored. No. Do you want to go on holiday?
Just like, I mean, because I did that once. I remember I had things and I decided I went on holiday instead when everyone else was going doing really crap work that was like, you're still losing money.
Yeah.
And yet, I said, I just try to park up and just go away. That is the kind of life set I want.
It's good.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've sort of got the freedom of being able to do that. So.
Yeah, and then and help anyone along the way. I like to try and help people, like, whether somebody wants to, like, you know, how do you get into lawyers, or how did you put your own lawyer on the road, or, you know, in any aspect. If I think there's like an opportunity to help anyone, you should, like, you know, whether it's like sharing their music. I love sharing people's like up and coming artists' music. I love doing that. And I've met, like, I was with like Ben Walker, Kyle Faulkner review out at his recording studios in Spain. Like, you're not doing much. You're just like, because you help and you, like, there's nothing gain. It's just I decided you do all this kind of, it makes connections, and then you get these amazing experiences. You know what I mean? I didn't get these amazing experiences because I was out for greed and gain. That was because you were out to help people, and it came back in a positive reflection, and you get these great opportunities. I mean, I can believe this. I'm out in Kyle Faulkner's recording studios in Spain. Kyle Faulkner, lead singer of The View. Like, this is bizarre. And then we're sitting drinking with him, and it's like, I want to help people on the way if I can. If I see an opportunity, if I see something for someone, oh, that would benefit him, I like to try and throw it their way. It says, here, get in there. That'll help you out. Because I do believe, and it's not the thing like, oh, well, you owe me a favour after that. It's not that. It's just one day it'll be like, I think, well, even just, I know I'm rabbing on, but example, Ben Walker was great and up and coming singer, and he said, if I sell out King Tut's, if I sell out the King Tut's, I get to play at Transmit Festival on the King Tut stage. That's what he said. If I sell this out, I've proved my point, I guess, singing the stage. And he says, I'm just worried if I don't. And I promised him, I says, if you've got whatever tickets you've got left, I will buy them.
Yeah.
I said, I'll buy them all, and I'll give them away at the front door. Yeah. You are going to headline King Tut's. And I think he was so far off, and then me and Charles just went and bought, I think, they would have sold anyway, but just to get it and put his mind at ease, we just bought the last 20 tickets. Just buy the last 20 tickets.
Buy them.
Done.
That's good.
And what he's going to do with them? Phone people we knew. If you want tickets, come and get them. And then any other tickets, we just left them on the door and just said to people, anyone that appears, just come in, give them.
Yeah.
And it was his way. He says, well, and Ben was really appreciative. He says, oh, thanks so much. And that's how I'm going to play King Tut's. And people say, why did you do that? It's good to help. It's good.
That's it.
I mean, they help someone out. You know what I mean? To give them that chance.
And it will return you back one day as well.
Even if it doesn't, I'm not bloody bothered.
Yeah. Good karma, though.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just, good karma. I love karma. Karma is sweet.
Same.
When you get long-term karma that comes back on bad people, are like, oh, it's like a final line.
Delicious.
Ferments more, like stuff like that. But I like good karma and helping people out, like, you know what I mean? That's, I'd say that's my kind of goal. It's just try to just do good through life, you know what I mean? And do good for yourself. Do good for your friends, your family, but
look after yourself first.
Aye, but not ill people on the way. And it says, don't get it wrong, if you try to bugger me over, I will be ruthless. I'm ruthless back. I'll admit to people I can be right pain in the ass. You've got to be. I mean, like, you can't be soft. I mean, you've got to be ruthless, but it's not my mindset to go out of, like, who am I going to screw over today so I can get ahead in life. No. It's not my mindset. No. It's not. I think I would just, because then you live in a world of that, of constantly backstabbing and conniving, and who wants to live with that stress? No. It says, get on with it. And it's a long process, but you get on really well with people. You've got good loyalty. You've got long-term things. You help people on the way. But if you do me wrong, I will mirror it and do 10 times over you.
Yeah, well, that's it.
You know what I mean? Just to kind of, and that's just protecting your own kind of...
It's your obsession again. I'll get you. I'm going to jump higher than you.
It says, watch this. Oh no, I do have a challenge on my... It's like, it's especially when you can be really clever with it. People go, that was quite good. I know.
Well, if you've enjoyed this episode today with Sandy, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next.